Chapter 3141. At this time, Chen Zhang's relationship with the natural law world was getting closer and closer. He didn't know what was going on, but if it was before, he wouldn't be able to make such a huge change to the natural law world. Is it because I'm getting stronger and stronger? So can I now have basic control over the natural law world? Chen Zhang thought so. Right now, he could directly sense the space of the natural law world, and could even release his own strength to strengthen it. He once again confirmed the location of the natural law world and was very satisfied. This will do for now. After I get rid of those few heaven-old divine race people, I'll use the world-defying mad source speed S in their bodies to increase the space. If it were not for him using that world-defying mad source speed, the space of natural law world would not have been strengthened so quickly. As long as the space of the natural law world was not as easily torn apart as before, it would be difficult for people from other worlds to reach the natural law world, and only he could freely enter or leave it. Could it be that they've killed a lot of them and reduced the number of people here? Chen Zhang guessed, and very quickly discovered that there were a few auras. They are fighting. Chen Zhang had already seen 3 heaven-old divine race people fighting against a Tiangu beast. What made him curious was that the Tiangu beast was very small. The Tiangu beast he had seen before were all as large as a mountain, but right now, they were fighting with the people of the heaven-old divine races who were only slightly taller than normal. Compared to the other Tiangu beast, they were very small. What surprised Chen Zhang was that this Tiangu beast was extremely powerful, to the point that it actually required 3 heaven-old divine races to attack it together. Furthermore, they were unable to attack it for a long time, making it difficult to deal with. This thing is very strong. Go and ask Chen Kai. When Chen Zhang arrived at Chen Kai's secret room, he found that Chen Kai was in the midst of extracting myriad Dao divine soil S from the Tiangu beast's fur. Other than needing some time, he didn't need to consume anything else. The space has already been strengthened by me. It won't be so easy for those fellows to come back to natural law world in the future. Chen Zhang said, "How are you doing? Did you manage to get many myriad Dao divine soil S?" "It's not much, it's pitifully little." Chen Kai shook his head. "Of course, this is not as much as I had expected. A Tiangu beast is able to produce 2.5 taels of myriad Dao divine soil. Indeed, it is rather rare." Chen Zhang laughed, "But at least it's better than nothing." "But it's true. There are a lot of Tiangu beast anyway, so you should be able to catch some of them." Chen Kai laughed. "Are you prepared to go out?" "Yes, I saw 3 heaven-old divine race people surrounding and attacking a Tiangu beast. It's just that this Tiangu beast looked very strange, it looked like a gorilla." Chen Zhang told Chen Kai about the size of the Tiangu beast. "Oh my god, this must be a beast king. It's said that the beast king of Tiangu beast can evolve into a human." Chen Kai said, "Right now, you should be considered a beast king. Doesn't that mean that there are more myriad Dao divine soil on this heaven-old super beast king?" Chen Zhang's eyes lit up. "That's not it, maybe not at all." Chen Kai shook his head. "I don't dare to be sure either." "Alright, I'll go out now and see if I can find a chance to ambush those 3 bastards." After Chen Zhang found out about the situation with the Tiangu beast, he immediately headed towards the natural law world. These guys are all using the strength of their flesh, they didn't use the world-defying stage fierce power. Chen Zhang was watching the battle between the heaven-old divine race people and the Tiangu beast from afar. He also noticed that the Tiangu beast's fur was gray, without any thorns. However, the heaven-old super beast king's fur was extremely tough. Chen Zhang saw that even though one of the heaven-old divine race people used his weapon to hack at it, he could not leave any scars. This guy is really scary, but my heavenly magic sword should be able to easily break through his defense, right? Chen Zhang frowned. Even so, this thing is not easy to deal with, I wonder if I can beat it. Seeing that the 3 heaven-old divine races were struggling so much, Chen Zhang secretly calculated in his heart. If this goes on, we will lose. Have you informed the boss? One of the heaven-old divine race people asked anxiously. If he doesn't come soon, we have to leave quickly. We've already notified him, but there seems to be a problem with our communication device. The space here has suddenly increased, but we don't know why it's like this. Another heaven-old divine race said. The space here had indeed just been strengthened by Chen Zhang, and originally, they couldn't use the communication device anymore, unless they forged it from a new perspective. Then let's hurry up and go. The voice of one of the heaven-old divine race people was filled with worry. No, this is a Tiangu beast that is close to the existence of a beast king, we cannot let it go. If we can tame it, he can bring us into the heaven old super realm, and there will be a large number of them, and even more myriad Tao divine soil. You should know why the beast hair on these Tiangu beasts can be refined into myriad Tao divine soil, right? The main reason is that there are a large number of myriad Tao divine soil at their place, and they often roll on top of the myriad Tao divine soil, which accumulated over time. This heaven old super beast king definitely knows how to go to heaven old super realm. This is a very strange time-space world. The heaven old divine race said, we must stall for time and wait for boss to come. The big boss they were talking about was the strongest, but for some reason, he hadn't come yet. Does this heaven old super beast king have that kind of ability? Chen Shang was shocked. If he could quickly obtain a large number of myriad Tao divine soil he wouldn't need to refine them himself. At this time, his heart was thumping wildly. There were a lot of myriad Tao divine soil and that number was very little above myriad Tao. Is it really possible that there are a large number of myriad Tao divine soil Chen Shang was still suspicious of this. Roar! Heaven old super beast king suddenly roared out. His fist finally struck one of the heaven old divine race's man's chest and sent him flying. The heaven old divine race man's heart was severely injured, and he could not help but scream in pain. Third brother, you useless thing, you actually got hit by this beast. One of the heaven old divine race people was very angry, because he was also flustered. Heaven old super beast king only needed to deal with 2 people from heaven old divine race, the pressure on him lessened. The heaven old super beast king is really powerful, to think that it would be so easy to deal with 3 people from the heaven old divine race. Chen Shang was secretly shocked, he was worried that this beast king would be taken away. Chapter 3142. Pure Text Online. Read local domain name mobile phone synchronous read. Please visit. After the third brother had been injured, the other 2 had become extremely angry. This was because it had already implicated them, so when something like this happened to them, they would become the most furious. Chen Shang could see the anger on their faces, as if they wanted to kill OL3 right now. These guys are really ruthless, are all heaven old divine race people like this? Chen Shang thought back to what happened to Chen Kai. Originally, Chen Kai had been hunted down and killed by the people of heaven old divine race, and the main reason was that he possessed the bloodline of the heaven old orcs. It's time to make a move. Chen Shang quietly went over to old third's side. OL3 was quickly healing himself, and he even took out a bottle of pills. He poured out 2 of them. What pill is this? It looks pretty good. Chen Shang smelled the fragrance of the elegant pill and couldn't help but to become spirited. The quality of the pill was very high, its refining methods were also very different, he could tell at a glance. Mine. Chen Shang laughed, he had already rushed to the back of the third brother, and the heavenly magic sword instantly pierced through the third brother's back and stabbed into his heart. Dead. Chen Shang immediately threw old third's body into the Tianchuang furnace. He had already gotten the bottle of pills. At this moment, the Tianchuang furnace was trembling non-stop, because there was a world-defying mad source bead inside recklessly making its way forward. Chen Shang immediately ordered Feng Ke to release the sealing power to suppress it. Have they found out? Chen Shang immediately hid himself. The reason he had been so easy to get his hands on was mainly because the third brother was already heavily injured and they weren't very defensive. This place was already a very intense battlefield, and he felt that no one would come here, so he was so relaxed. OL3 is gone. A heaven old divine race man suddenly shouted. When Chen Shang heard it, he had already teleported. Has OL3 run away? They didn't know that their third brother had been killed by Chen Shang. They could not split their attention either, it would be very difficult for the 2 of them to deal with heaven old super beast king, but now that OL3 suddenly ran away, it made them feel even more pressured and they had already decided to give up. Let's go. Just as that person finished shouting, Chen Shang had already quickly flew over, stabbed him in the chest, and then threw him into the Tianchuang furnace. Fourth bro. The remaining one should be number 2. Seeing his comrade pierced, he immediately understood that number 3 must have also been killed in this way. After the second brother let out a scream, heaven old super beast king's palm had already struck over, striking his head, causing it to explode. In the moment of shock, the second brother had accidentally let his guard down, and was attacked by heaven old super beast king. Chen Shang immediately chased after him, he teleported extremely quickly, arriving in front of the second brother, he slashed at the chest, and after the heart was destroyed, he anxiously threw the corpse into the Tianchuang furnace. I've finally settled it. It was surprisingly easy. Chen Shang did not expect himself to be able to kill 3 heaven-old divine race people in such a short time. The main reason was because they were standing and fighting with the heaven-old super beast King S, and did not expect Chen Shang to be here. Even more so, they did not expect Chen Zhang's strength to be so strong that they could hide and not be discovered. Chen Shang told Feng Ke to seal the 3 world-defying mad source bead inside so they wouldn't collide with each other inside, otherwise his Tianchuang furnace would be destroyed. This guy seems to be able to sense me. Chen Shang was still invisible, but heaven-old super beast King was looking at him. He's very strong, you'd better forget about it. Feng Ke warned them, let's go and find the one that is still in heaven-old divine race. That guy is the boss, he's the strongest one there, focus on dealing with him. Chen Shang really wanted to fight with the heaven-old super beast king, but he did not have the confidence. Earlier, the 3 heaven-old divine race people did their best to not take him down, so he definitely could not as well. Goodbye. Just as Chen Shang teleported away, he was only able to enter the spatial tunnel, but he was caught by a force, which shocked him greatly. What's going on? After Chen Shang was pulled out, he fell hard onto the ground, and saw the gorilla-like heaven-old super beast king. What's going on? After Feng Ke asked this, he also saw the situation outside. Human, why are you helping me? Heaven-old super beast king actually spoke. His voice was very hoarse, but everyone could hear him clearly. They were my enemies in the first place, and I just took this opportunity to kill them. Chen Shang said honestly, I didn't provoke you, let me go. Where are you going? Heaven-old super beast king asked. You have the ability to travel through space, can you bring me out of this space? Before, this place was still very weak. At that time, I could still leave this place myself, but now, I can't. Where are you going? Chen Shang asked. I just need to leave this place. I don't have any direction to stay here, so I can't find the place I need to go. Heaven-old super beast king's eyes were filled with confusion. Oh, where are you going? Chen Shang suddenly became curious. I heard from them that you are from the heaven-old super realm, right? Yes, that's not a good place. You want to go? Heaven-old super beast king asked. I don't want to go. I have another enemy here. I'm going to destroy him. Chen Shang shook his head. He never thought that the heaven-old super beast king would actually have such a human nature, and did not have any enmity towards him. If I leave, can you help me? The heaven-old super beast king said again. All right. Chen Shang thought about it, and finally decided to take this heaven-old super beast king away and help him. After Chen Shang accepted him into the 6 realms mirrors, he came to Divine Wasteland. After he released the heaven-old super beast king, the heaven-old super beast king was very excited. He said that this was the place he was going to and was very grateful to Chen Shang. I will definitely repay you in the future. Goodbye. After heaven-old super beast king finished speaking, he quickly ran away and disappeared. Chen Shang shook his head. He then returned to the natural law world. There were still many Tiangu beasts here, but he did not need to worry about them. If the many experts joined hands, they could still force them to retreat. It's just that the heaven-old divine race was not easy to deal with, not to mention he was the strongest one among the 5. This guy is still hunting Tiangu beast. Chen Shang closed his eyes, and quickly locked onto the location of the heaven-old divine race. After finding it, he immediately teleported over. But just as he went over, the heaven-old divine race person disappeared. Let's go. Chen Shang felt a trace of chi remaining, and was shocked. The other party seemed to suddenly come over and immediately ran away. Chapter 3143. Pure Text Online. Read local domain name mobile phone synchronous read please visit. Chen Shang immediately closed his eyes and searched the natural law world for him, but he was unable to find him even after searching for a while. Where did you go? Chen Shang frowned. He cannot leave this place. The space here has already been strengthened by me, so he cannot open it. He continued to search within the natural law world, but he could not sense the aura of this person from there. He could only search on one side, while killing the Tiangu beasts that were participating in the search on the other. A few days later, he suddenly sensed a trace of chi, but immediately disappeared. This allowed him to be sure that the heaven-old divine race was still inside, and that he had hidden himself. Does this guy already know that his other 3 companions are dead? Chen Shang guessed that this was the only way he would hide. He feels that it's impossible to leave this place. Furthermore, he has a powerful enemy here, so he will definitely be very careful. Feng Ke said, if it was me, I would be the same. The other party was extremely vigilant, and it would be very difficult for Chen Shang to find him. In the next 10 days or so, he killed Tianghu beasts everywhere, and the few hundred Tianghu beasts were easily taken care of by him. Although the world-defying mad source speed he produced was relatively small, it was enough for him to use the powerful world-defying stage fierce power, but it could not be maintained for a long period of time. After he returned to the Dan God mysterious land, he gave a portion of the Tianghu beast in his hands to Chen Kai. He planned to hand over the majority of the remaining treasures to Lu Meng'er and the others. Shenxian, you should already know about the matters of the myriad Dao divine soil. Chen Shang came to a courtyard and saw that Shui Shenxian was reading a book. The book was filled with spirit grains, and all of these were given to them by Chen Kai. Previously, Chen Shang had told Chen Kai that if he was free, he would teach him a bit of the spirit grain or something like that to Shui Shenxian and the others. Elder Chen told us in detail that you had a little bit of it before, but we didn't know much about it back then. Shui Shenxian nodded his head, and laughed. Your heavenly magic sword has been newly refined by Elder Chen, right? Yes. Chen Shang took out the heavenly magic sword and gave it to Shui Shenxian, reminding him, be careful, it's very sharp. When Shui Shenxian took them and looked at them, Lu Meng'er and Dongfang Xinyue just happened to come out. They both looked naked at the moment, and wore extremely thin clothes. This is the heavenly magic sword refined by the myriad Dao divine soil. Lu Meng'er watched very seriously, and also did not notice Chen Zhang's mischievous gaze sweeping over them. If you need myriad Dao divine soil, I have one here. Chen Shang immediately gave them a huge storage box and said, there is the corpse of the Tianghu beast inside. He told them about the Tianghu beast hair, letting them know that the beast hair could be extracted from the myriad Dao divine soil. Chen Kai, this guy can't refine it himself, so I'll give you some. Chen Shang chuckled, then pinched Lu Meng'er's butt, causing Lu Meng'er to roll her eyes at him. If we can really refine a myriad Dao divine soil, according to Elder Chen's words, the refined myriad Dao divine soil would be more than enough for us to use. As long as we add a little more, we can make our weapon extremely sharp and sturdy. Shui Shenxian said. But you guys have to leave some for me. I want to strengthen the 6 realms mirrors and the Tianchuang furnace, it's not enough now. Chen Shang said, and then pinched Dongfang Xinyue's charming face. No problem, if you have time in the future, you can come here to obtain the myriad Dao divine soil. If you want to increase the strength of the 6 realms mirrors, I'm afraid that we cannot, and need Elder Chen to refine it. Lu Meng'er said. Chen Kai was indeed very experienced up there. Alright, I'll stay here for a few days. It's been a long time since I've been with you. Chen Shang laughed. Scoundrel, Shui Shenxian scolded her while laughing. In the following 2 days, Chen Shang played with Shui Shenxian and the others all day. It had been a long time since he was this relaxed. Boom, asterisk. A dull sound accompanied by a shaking sound was heard. Chen Shang, who had just woken up, suddenly ran out. The commotion was huge, and all the people in Dan God mysterious land were alarmed. It's a spatial ripple. When Sha Bailing came over, he anxiously said, there is a strong wave of spatial energy attacking this place, we want to break in. Yue also flew over, saying, this is a power from natural law world. Chen Shang immediately closed his eyes and searched the natural law world for signs of life. Very quickly, he saw a man dressed in luxurious robes. He was wearing a mask, and was from Heaven Old Divine Race. It's someone from the Heaven Old Divine Race. This guy seems to have already discovered the existence of the Dan God mysterious land. Chen Shang said, don't worry, I'll go out and meet this guy. Chen Shang immediately teleported outside and appeared behind the Heaven Old Divine Race. Sure enough, you're inside. The Heaven Old Divine Race individual stopped his attack and sneered, who are you to be hiding in this small world? For this world's spatial barrier to be strengthened so much in such a short period of time, it must be your doing. And you are the one who killed my 4 companions, right? The ones who are reckless are the 2 of you. This natural law world is a world that I control. You guys are free to do whatever you want here, so it is normal for you to be punished by me. Chen Shang said in a cold voice, you will naturally not be an exception. Today is your time. The one in charge of this world. We, the people of Heaven Old Divine Race, are the managers of the entire myriad Dao, and we will soon be able to dominate the entire myriad Dao. At that time, as long as we are in the myriad Tao, they will all be ours. You truly are an ignorant fool. The heaven-old divine race laughed. Then let's wait for your mighty myriad Tao to speak. Right now, you are a group of wild boars. After Chen Shang finished speaking, he waved his hand and released the black whip. The black whip flew out like light and wrapped around the heaven-old divine race. It was refined using the myriad Tao divine soil. This heaven-old divine race was extremely shocked. His body suddenly flashed, transforming into a ray of white light that exploded. Countless clumps of light fused and reformed in one place, once again transforming back to the heaven-old divine race. I don't need to pursue the matter of you killing my comrades, but you have to return the world-defying mad source speed to me. There are a total of 4 of them. If you don't give them to me, then no one will be so polite with you. The heaven-old divine race thought that Chen Shang was not easy to deal with, so he discussed the terms with Chen Shang. The world-defying mad source speed was actually so important to the people of heaven-old divine race, which was something that Chen Shang did not expect. I won't give you even a single stone. Chen Shang had to get rid of these guys who were wreaking havoc in the natural law world. Chapter 3144. Pure Text Online. Read local domain name mobile phone synchronous read please visit. Seeing Chen Zhang's determined attitude, the heaven-old divine race knew that Chen Shang would not negotiate with him. It seems this is the only way. The heaven-old divine race person's expression changed and then suddenly disappeared. He actually used spatial teleportation, which was something Chen Shang did not expect. This guy actually knows how to teleport. Chen Shang was startled and immediately went to check on the location of the natural law world. He quickly sensed a trace of aura and had already determined the location of the man from the heaven-old divine race. Chen Shang teleported over and quickly caught up to him. He did not know what this heaven-old divine race wanted to do. After arriving here, Chen Shang felt that something was amiss. By the time he realized it, it was already too late. I was careless. Chen Shang looked down and realized that there was a very large array disk below. He had actually entered into an array disk that was already set up a while ago. The moment he stepped onto this array disk, the array disk would activate and trap him inside. This little trick won't hold me back. Chen Shang immediately used the white tiger leap and easily jumped out of the great formation. However, after he jumped out of the formation, he entered another formation. Not good, this is a consecutive maze formation. Feng Ke said in shock. This kind of formation is intertwined together with multiple formations, it can only be a few, or hundreds, and will be like a maze. If you jump out of this formation, you will end up in another one, and the formation will move into a few more formations, causing you to be lost. Chen Shang frowned and closed his eyes to look at the natural law world. Even though he could see the natural law world, it did not help him at all. Where's that guy? Is he planning to ambush me here? Chen Shang was extremely cautious. If the other party were to suddenly attack, with the heaven-old divine race's powerful strength, he would be in danger. He wouldn't sneak attack you in here, because he wouldn't dare to enter this kind of chain-link maze himself. Feng Ke said. At this moment she also felt that the situation was extremely serious. She could not afford to deal with this kind of array. She needed to break it one by one, not run out from it. Then let me see if I can find that guy. Chen Shang searched for traces of the heaven-old divine race disciple in the natural law world. He quickly found him and found that he was actually attacking the space. What does he want? Could it be that he wants to enter the Dan God mysterious land? Chen Shang shouted in shock. If he is allowed to enter the Dan God mysterious land, the consequences will be unimaginable. Not only was this heaven-old divine race powerful, he was also very cunning. He felt that his chance of victory against Chen Shang was not high, so he thought of other methods and had to escape from this natural law world, because he was the only one here and Chen Shang was in charge. It would be very easy to find his position. Don't worry, Chen Kai is still inside. Feng Ke said. Right now, what we need to do is to break this formation. Chen Shang took out the 6 realms mirrors. He had originally planned to use the 6 realms time and space door to lock onto one of his acquaintances and then teleport over. However, he did not succeed. What's going on? I seem to have gone into another array. Chen Shang said. Yes, you are still in the consecutive maze formation. You must break it as soon as possible. Feng Ke said in a serious voice. This consecutive maze arrays might be the type that possesses intelligence. He can control multiple spatial ceiling formations to move back and forth, and after you charge out of this array, you will fall into another one. I know, it's like I just came out of this trap, but Giant is going to fall into another trap. Chen Shang nodded. More or less, but the most powerful part about the consecutive maze arrays is that they can be used repeatedly, so you have to completely destroy them. In the end, he won't be able to use them again and again. Feng Ke said. Alright, let's begin now. Chen Shang took out the heavenly magic sword. The heavenly magic sword was extremely sharp, and these array formations were formed by them. It was very easy to destroy them. This kind of ease was only for Chen Shang, because an array disc was originally very strong, so a very strong array disc was very hard to break. However, Chen Zhang's heavenly magic swords were refined using the myriad Tao divine soil, it was very powerful. Chen Shang picked up the heavenly magic sword and fiercely hacked down onto the ground a few times, leaving many holes. Chen Shang felt the space suddenly shake, and he successfully destroyed a maze. Alright, Feng Ke said. These array formations should have been prepared by the other party to trap the strong Tianghu beast, but if you want to use it to trap you, that would be difficult. Chen Shang continuously used his heavenly magic sword to slash at the ground, because there were array discs below. After a long while, he exhaled. There are really too many of these array discs. Yes, there are at least 100 of them. In order to get rid of you, this guy has spent a lot of resources. It seems he's a little afraid of you. Feng Ke laughed. I'll be leaving very soon. When that happens, it'll be his funeral. Chen Shang snorted, and continued destroying the array. For Chen Shang, destroying the array was very easy, but for the others who were trapped inside, it would be hard to escape. In just one day, Chen Shang had successfully destroyed the entire chain of maze. This fellow is about to succeed. Chen Shang closed his eyes and saw that the heaven-old divine race disciple had already made the dimensional wall of the Dan God mysterious land very thin and was about to break it. I won't let you succeed. Chen Shang immediately teleported over. The people of heaven-old divine race did not expect Chen Shang to be able to break through his powerful chain formation, as he understood the chain formation very well. He believed that Chen Shang would definitely be trapped inside, and if he successfully entered the Dan God mysterious land, he might even be able to grab a few people from the array to threaten Chen Shang. Chen Shang released the 6 realms mirrors. The moment it appeared, it released an array to trap the heaven-old divine race disciple. This is actually a chain maze, impossible, you cannot grasp the consecutive magic array. This array has been completed by our array masters for hundreds of thousands of years, it won't be so easily controlled by a single human. The heaven-old divine race started shouting inside, he wanted to try to break this array, but he did not succeed. Chen Zhang's 6 realms mirrors could replicate array formations. Previously, all of the array formations had been copied by the 6 realms mirrors, so when this heaven-old divine race person entered, he felt that it was a chain formation. This is finally over. I must let this guy have a taste of my pain. He actually dares to mess around in my territory. Chen Shang took out a large piece of powder, and knew that these were all Wangwo scents. The bodies and strength of the people of heaven-old divine race were very strong, he did not know whether or not Wangwo scent of this level would be effective. Chapter 3145. Pure Text Online Read Local Domain Name Mobile Phone Synchronous Read Please visit. After Chen Shang placed the large amount of Wangwo scent into the 6 realms mirrors as formation, the Wangwo scent immediately floated away. Because the space inside was sealed, this kind of poisonous scent was extremely dense. What is this? So fragrant. After the people of heaven-old divine race smelled it, they immediately became energetic. Then, they unknowingly inhaled deeply, and after taking a few breaths, they could no longer stop. I wonder if it's effective. Chen Shang looked at the heaven-old divine race man who was constantly sucking on the poison, and already showed signs of preliminary poisoning. He just did not know whether or not this poison would be suppressed in the future. In order to make the other party even more poisoned, Chen Shang could only continue refining the Wangwo scent. He also used the time domain, which could allow him to refine even faster. A few days later, he threw a large number of Wangwo scent in, and saw that the heaven-old divine race was lying on the ground, as though he was drunk. This should be enough to poison him. Chen Shang knew very well how powerful Wangwo scent were. If they were unable to cure the poison, even the people of heaven-old divine race would become obedient. The He clan had poisoned them with this poison before, but the He clan's poison didn't give them such a comfortable feeling, and the He clan's poison was also refined by these heaven-old divine race's people. Wake up! Chen Shang had already sealed the heaven-old divine race into a space inside the 6 realms mirrors. Little bastard, what did you do to me? After the people of heaven old divine race woke up, who knew how much time had passed? He only remembered that he smelled a very fragrant and beautiful scent, and then fell asleep without him knowing. It's nothing. I'm just letting you enjoy it. Chen Shang chuckled, you'll know soon enough. Chen Shang laughed sinisterly, he had used this method to deal with the heaven old divine race to control him. After half a day, the heaven old divine race people inside the 6 realms mirrors started to roll around in pain. Right now, he only had one thought, and that was to desperately suck the poisonous scent. As he wished, Chen Shang placed a bit of Wangwo scent in, alleviating the pain of the heaven old divine race. The heaven old divine race person had already taken off his mask, it was an old man. He looked to be in a very sorry state, looking haggard. Old fellow, you must have suffered. Chen Shang laughed. You little bastard. He suddenly felt that this method was very familiar, and remembered that they had used some poison to control others. Previously, the other great world-defying stage clan S had taken some poison from them to control some people. It was just that Chen Zhang's poison was even stronger, and when it flared up, it was so deadly that it made him want to die. I learned this from all of you. Chen Shang laughed, if you don't want to try that pain again, you better cooperate with me, or else, I won't let you die like this. I will make you suffer until your lifespan runs out. Heaven old divine race was so angry that he wanted to scold her, but he did not dare scold her again. The bone-piercing pain he had felt just now had not subsided, and now he even had the thought of smelling the Wangwo scent. Originally, he had been very restrained, to not let himself think like that again. What's your name? Chen Shang asked. Shi Songkang. Chen Shang laughed, because he had already achieved the desired result, and this heaven old divine race was cooperating very well with him. How did you guys open up a path for the Tianghu beast to enter? Chen Shang asked again. We will use a spatial formation released by an array disk to connect with the heaven old super realm and let the Tianghu beast inside come out. Shi Songkang said. He had already made his decision, he did not want to be tortured like this. The array disk should be in your hands, right? Chen Shang asked again. Shi Songkang placed the array disk on his palm, Chen Shang took it out and laughed. That's good, don't worry, I will let you live a comfortable life here in the future. Shi Songkang didn't say anything more, but he felt extremely disgusted in his heart. He didn't think that he would meet such an end. Chen Shang allowed Feng Ka to study the array disk, and then closed his eyes to see the myriad Dao Divine Mountain. After finding it, he immediately teleported over. The top of myriad Dao Divine Mountain was bustling with noise and excitement. There were a lot of people gathered there. When Chen Shang arrived, he saw a person speaking loudly on a flat platform at the top of the mountain. Right now, everyone only needs to find the people from the Heavenly Dragon City and they'll receive a generous reward. The old man said, the fellows from Heavenly Dragon City are already hiding, so everyone should be careful. After meeting them, don't expose your intention to capture them, but first get familiar with them, and then find an opportunity to make a move. Chen Shang suddenly asked loudly, how many rewards are there? The old man was interrupted while he was talking, he was angry in his heart, but he still replied Chen Shang, 1 billion Dao crystal. Very few. The people from the Heavenly Dragon City are very strong. If I were to clash with them, it would be a narrow escape from death. Chen Shang said again, no one here could recognize him. Everyone felt that what he said was reasonable. 1 billion Dao crystal was not a small number of people, but if they were to go all out to exchange for them, it would be very rare. If you feel that you shouldn't go too far, then someone else will naturally go. The old man glared at Chen Shang. There are so many people in Heavenly Dragon City. As long as you capture one, you will be able to obtain 1 billion Dao crystal. Myriad Dao Divine Mountain is also like that, they don't have much ability. Chen Shang laughed, you can't even deal with a single Heavenly Dragon City, yet you still want to use such a small number of Dao crystal to fight to the death. How naive. You must be here to cause trouble. The old man instantly appeared in front of Chen Shang. Do I look like a troublemaker? Chen Shang laughed, I just don't want everyone to die because of a few Dao crystal. I think you're here to cause trouble. The elder roared in anger, and the angry look on his face caused everyone around him to retreat. Speaking up for everyone can be considered as causing trouble. It can be seen how much you wish for the people here to die, then you can shift the blame to the Heavenly Dragon City, causing everyone to hate him even more. Originally, we did not have any enmity with him, but with you doing this, we can make him our enemy. Chen Shang shook his head, and you, the myriad Tao Divine Mountain, popped out from who knows where. If you want to mess with our natural law world, you are a troublemaker yourself. What are you? You actually dare to spout nonsense here, it is not your place to speak natural law world. The old man roared, he raised his hand and slapped towards Chen Zhang's head. After the palm struck Chen Zhang's head, the power he released actually disappeared like a stone falling into the ocean. He did not shatter Chen Zhang's head, but instead, his power disappeared in an instant. Chapter 3146. Pure Text Online. Read local domain name mobile phone synchronous read please visit. Chen Shang looked at the old man's astonished face and smiled slightly. Then, his palm shot out like lightning and struck the old man's chest. You, who are you? The old man was shocked. He was a cultivator of the world-defying stage's sacred body, but he was actually injured severely by the other party in such a short period of time. You are not worthy of knowing who I am. Myriad Tao Divine Mountain, from today onwards, you will forever disappear from natural law world. When Chen Shang said this, his expression became serious. The huge myriad Tao Divine Mountain started to shake, and everyone on the mountain started to fly away. Chen Shang immediately locked onto some of the people from the myriad Tao Divine Mountain, and then released a large number of mouse manes to kill all the small fries. Weary. Ver greater than. In just a short while, only Chen Shang and the old man remained at the top of myriad Tao Divine Mountain, which was originally bustling with noise and excitement. You are Chen Shang. This elder looked at Chen Shang with a face filled with shock. He felt that this kind of person was the only person who had such a huge grudge against myriad Tao Divine Mountain. Don't worry, your myriad Tao Divine Mountain belongs to the world-defying stage clan. I will quickly eradicate him. Even the people who are my enemies will not have a good ending. After Chen Shang finished speaking, he pushed forward with his palm, and a powerful force surged out, bringing with it a wave of world-defying god fire that howled out. The old man's body was turned into pieces, and was burnt to ashes by the world-defying god fire. The myriad Tao Divine Mountain had already been destroyed by Chen Shang. After that, he went to find the world-defying stage heavenly sect, and with just a few moves, he managed to destroy them. Now, he felt that the natural law world was in his control. If it was before, it would be impossible for him to destroy these two powers that easily. Chen Shang returned to the Dan God mysterious land, told LV Kilian and the others about the situation outside, and assured them that he could cultivate here. Currently, the people of Heaven Old Divine Race and the world-defying stage clan were both in the Divine Wasteland. The world-defying stage clan and the people of Heaven Old Divine Race had teamed up. Heaven Old Orcs didn't know why they were acting so low-key at this time, nor did he know what they were doing. In short, Chen Shang felt that they were extremely dangerous. Even the current Chen Shang was extremely wary of the Heaven Old Orc Emperor. He did not have the confidence to defeat the Beastman Sovereign. I wonder how strong the strongest member of the Heaven Old Divine Race is. Chen Shang had never asked Chen Kai before, even if he had, he did not know. But he could ask one person, and that would be Shi Songkang. Shi Songkang had become very obedient now, answering almost every question he asked. Old fellow, in your Heaven Old Divine Race, who is the strongest? Chen Shang asked. I don't know who's the strongest, because there are a few who are very strong, and their strengths are all stronger than Heaven Old Orc Emperor. Shi Songkang said, your current strength is not bad, but it is not enough for you to go deal with them. It's not enough to deal with them with my current strength, but it's still possible to give them a headache. Chen Shang laughed, you should know where all the world-defying stage clans live, right? These guys are currently in a separate dimension. Before, they were separated, but after they pledged their allegiance to us, they were unified by us. This makes it easier for us to manage them. Shi Songkang said, what are you going there for? I just feel that you shouldn't have put the Tiangu beast in the natural law world, but in their world-defying stage clan. Chen Shang had already gotten his hands on the array disc, and could open a spatial tunnel from the Heaven Old Super Realm, allowing the Tiangu beast inside to come out. After Shi Songkang heard these words, he did not know what to say. Quick, take me there. Initially, Chen Shang had thought of letting Shi Songkang lead him in, but he was afraid that once Shi Songkang came out, he would contact the Heaven Old Divine Race and that would affect his plans, so he planned to sneak in by himself. Shi Songkang led Chen Shang to a shore where there was a city. After Chen Shang arrived at the city, he saw that there were a lot of people who belonged to the world-defying stage clan, and more of them came from the world-defying stage clan. Why did you heaven old divine race people come to this place? Chen Shang asked. HMPH, such a good world only has humans. It's simply a waste. We came here to make this world better. Shi Songkang said. Bullshit, do I not know what you have done? Chen Shang sneered, to make those fellows from the world-defying stage clan use poison to control them, and even want to destroy my natural law world, you all are definitely not good people. Shi Songkang did not speak anymore. Humans were originally like ants in their eyes, because they, heaven old divine race, were able to use the powerful world-defying stage fierce power, so no matter how strong humans were, as long as they could not use the world-defying stage fierce power, they were no match for them, thus they had never put humans in their eyes. How much do you know about the heaven old super beast king? Chen Shang asked. What, you met him? Asked in shock. Previously, he had received help from his other companions, saying that he had met heaven old super beast king. Yes, Chen Shang was not afraid to tell Shi Songkang, because Shi Songkang was already under his control. Where did he go? Shi Songkang's voice suddenly trembled. I brought him to the divine wasteland. Chen Shang said, what's wrong? This is troublesome. This guy is very scary. Once he evolves into a complete body, no one will be able to save him. You're asking for trouble, Shi Songkang snorted. Once heaven old super beast king gets to the divine wasteland, he will go search for the myriad Tao's origin. Once he finds it, he will borrow the myriad Tao's origin to evolve himself. Is that so? Chen Shang frowned. If he had successfully evolved, how strong would he be? Such a powerful being, wouldn't he be sucked into the myriad Tao? Quote, Tianghu beast won't be restricted by the myriad Tao, and neither will we. Shi Songkang said, even if we have the power to surpass the limits of the myriad Tao, we will still not be sent away, because we are not born from the myriad Tao. So it's like that. Chen Shang felt that the heaven old super beast king he met before was not bad. You don't look worried at all. Tianghu beast is much more brutal than heaven old orcs. Shi Songkang sneered. I feel that all of you have to be even more brutal. Tianghu beast are just a bit more stupid, at least they aren't as harmful as you guys. Chen Shang laughed out loud. How about you compare yourself to the Tianghu beast? Do you think it's more harmful to humans or more to the Tianghu beast? It's just that the Tianghu beast did not appear here. Shi Songkang quibbled. The fact that the Tianghu beast will appear here is also a good thing. Chen Shang couldn't help but laugh. Of course, I'll go and place the Tianghu beast in the world-defying stage clan right now. At that time, I'll be able to carefully see how brutal the Tianghu beast is. Chapter 3147. Pure Text Online Read Local Domain Name Mobile Phone Synchronous Read Please visit. All the world-defying stage clans were gathered in the same space at the moment. If Chen Shang could really sneak in and release the Tianghu beast inside, it would definitely cause these world-defying stage clans a huge amount of damage. Chen Shang not only planned to release the Tianghu beast from world-defying stage clan, he also wanted to go to the heaven old divine race's space to release it. He only wanted to see how many Tianghu beasts there were right now. The people of heaven old divine race only opened the spatial tunnel for a very short time. If he opened it for a long time, then there might be even more Tianghu beasts that appeared. When Shi Songkang found out about Chen Zhang's thoughts, he immediately thought that Chen Shang would probably throw all these Tianghu beasts into the heaven old divine race. There were indeed a few very strong people in the heaven old divine race, but if Chen Shang were to suddenly release a large amount of Tianghu beast, that would definitely cause a lot of death or injury to the people of the heaven old divine race. You won't have a good ending if you anger our heaven old divine race. You better let me go, and then give me the antidote, this way you can live to the end of your life. Shi Songkang said. Dream on. Chen Shang was not that naive, he let it go just like that. He hated the people of heaven old divine race very much. Did not forget that they caused a lot of deaths in the natural law world. If you did not place the Tianghu beast in the natural law world, so many people would not have died. Chen Shang said coldly, I will make all of you heaven old divine race pay with your blood. Don't think that just because you are extremely noble you will look down on other humans. PFF'd, I'll let you bastards die with the humans right now. Chen Shang strolled around the city by the sea. There were many people from the world-defying stage clan here, and as long as he kept his eyes on these people, he would be able to find a way to enter the world-defying stage clan. At night, the city was no longer as lively as it was before. Chen Shang released quite a few mouse manes and stared at the people of the world-defying stage clan closely. Once they left the city, they would follow them. In the middle of the night, Chen Shang finally discovered a group of people leaving the city. All of them were from the world-defying stage clan, and their strengths were quite strong. At this moment, they had left the city obviously to return to the world-defying stage clan. Chen Shang immediately followed quietly and teleported all the mouse man back at the same time. All of them are young people who have just stepped into world-defying stage. After Chen Shang saw through their strength, he was not worried anymore. He could use counter-power invisibility to follow behind them without worry. There were more than 20 people in this group. They were riding a flying disc, flying towards the depths of the sea. As the entrance in the sea, Chen Shang followed him, and not long after, he saw the flying discs diving into the ocean. Myriad Dao Divine Mountain is also in Divine Wasteland. After Chen Shang followed him into the ocean, he quickly discovered a huge mountain that was emitting a faint white light underwater. This mountain looks very similar to the Myriad Dao Divine Mountain, but it is not the Myriad Dao Divine Mountain. Chen Shang continued to follow closely, and those people were unable to discover him at all. The flying disc flew into a cave at the bottom of the ocean, and after flying in, the door automatically closed. Chen Shang anxiously used teleportation to run in and turned into a small stone, landed on a man's shoulder and stuck close to it. As long as those guys from the Mu Rong family make a space, they will be able to release the Tianggu beast. At that time, we will be able to hunt the Tianggu beast and acquire the Myriad Dao Divine Soil. When the time comes, we will have the divine tools refined by the Myriad Dao Divine Soil. Just thinking about it makes us excited. Didn't they say that the Tianggu beast's hunting grounds are located at that natural law world? It was originally like this, but because of some problems over there, we are no longer able to contact the person inside. It seems that things are not going well. That's why the Mu Rong family built this space. These guys from the Mu Rong family do have some ability, but they are now the dogs of the He clan. What a pity, the He clan has obtained these people who can control the power of space. It's fine, since we have already pledged our allegiance to the Heaven Old Divine race, we don't need to worry about being bullied by him. These young people were discussing about the Tianggu beast allowing Chen Shang to know a bit about the reaction of the Heaven Old Divine race people. They were no longer able to contact the natural law world, so they naturally knew that something had happened inside. There were definitely people thinking of ways to investigate the situation inside, but they were unable to enter the natural law world. The group of youngsters entered a large formation, then activated it and were transported to another space. This place was actually even larger than the Dan God Mysterious Land. He reckoned that this place was at least 10 times larger than the Dan God Mysterious Land. There are some places with very few people. It would be best if the Tianggu beast were to be released there. Chen Shang released many heaven-devouring rats to investigate the situation. Feng Ke said, "This space is very stable, even if we release a large number of Tianggu beast, they will not be afraid. I just do not know if they will let this group of Tianggu beast run to the Divine Wasteland. Probably not. To them, Tianggu beast are resources, because Tianggu beast have myriad Dao Divine Soil on them. If they let these Tianggu beast go to Divine Wasteland, maybe they will be taken away by Heaven Old Orcs, and Heaven Old Orcs is their enemy." Chen Shang said, "From what they said just now, the space built by the Mu Rong family will take some time to complete. If I were to just leave the Tianggu beast here, they would be able to start hunting. Wouldn't that be letting them off easy?" Feng Ke said. "Don't worry, anyway, even if they get a large number of myriad Dao Divine Soil they won't be able to pose much of a threat to me. Even if I don't release the Tianggu beast here, they will have a way to hunt for it." Chen Shang said. The people of Heaven Old Divine race already had a way to obtain the myriad Dao Divine Soil, but Chen Shang was unable to stop them, so he was worried that it would be useless. Furthermore, the speed at which he obtained the myriad Dao Divine Soil was much faster than the people of Heaven Old Divine race. Chen Shang arrived at a place with no one around and took out the formation plate that Shi Songkang had given him. After he activated the formation plate, a huge black vortex quickly appeared in the sky. Very quickly, many huge Tianggu beasts ran out from inside. The moment they came out, a black gale blew out, and as it blew out, the Tianggu beast was blown away by the wind and into different parts of the space. Chen Shang had opened this door for a very long time, which was much longer than when he had opened it previously. He did not know how many Tianggu beast had opened this door for now, but he knew that there would be a lot. "Someone's coming, I'll get it somewhere else." Chen Shang chuckled, then teleported to another relatively fewer people, turned on the array disc, and blew out a large gust of black wind. Chapter 3148. As Shi Songkang was sealed inside the Six Realms mirrors, he continuously roared loudly. He really wanted to know how many Tianghu Beast Chen Shang would actually release. Chen Shang continuously changed locations and released wave after wave of Tianghu Beast. The time he took to open the door was 1 hour, which could be considered a very long time. Kid, what's the situation outside? Shi Songkang asked. Many Tianghu Beast are shouting. Chen Shang laughed. It's very lively here. You, just how many Tianghu Beast did you release? Shi Songkang was shocked, and anxiously asked. I don't know either, but I must have opened that passage for more than an hour. Chen Shang said. He did not know how many Tianghu Beast had come over. Shi Songkang was speechless. In this half an hour, we've released at least 10,000 of them. This world-defying stage clan can be considered destroyed. Thank you. If you hadn't given me the array disc, I wouldn't have been able to do such a beautiful thing. I plan to sneak into the Heaven Old Divine Race's territory and try to see if I could release a large amount of Tianghu Beast. Quote. Don't act recklessly, I won't tell you how to enter the ancient god domain even if I die. Shi Songkang shouted in anger. Don't worry, I won't let you die. Laughed out loud. The Wangwo scent would never let anyone die, but it would definitely make them suffer a fate worse than death. After he finished speaking, he no longer bothered with Shi Songkang. The heaven-devouring rat that Chen Shang released already saw that quite a number of strong world-defying stage clan members killed their own Tianghu Beast. As long as he saw any Tianghu Beast that fell to the ground, he would immediately run over and collect them. In the space where the world-defying stage clan was, beast roars could be heard everywhere and battles were happening everywhere. Many people from the world-defying stage clan were killed by the strong Tianghu Beast. Chen Shang kept the Tianghu Beast's corpse and paid attention to the situation inside the cave. Once the Heaven Old Divine Race people entered, he would be careful. So powerful, Chen Shang suddenly saw a small Tianghu Beast that was as tall as 3 people. It was very small compared to the other mountain-like Tianghu Beast, similar to the Heaven Old Super Beast King that he had met before. This small and exquisite Heaven Old Super Beast King was extremely powerful. Many of the old undead world-defying stage clans were smashed into meat paste with a single slap of his. No one could stop him, so Chen Shang did not dare to approach him. Another Heaven Old Super Beast King, he's really amazing. Chen Shang never thought that he would actually be able to release a Heaven Old Super Beast King. This kind of Heaven Old Super Beast King was a rare occurrence in the Heaven Old Super Realm, but right now, he had met 2 of them. There were already more than 100 corpses of the Tianghu Beast that Chen Shang had collected. There weren't many that had died, but there were a lot of dead world-defying stage clan cultivators, and the ground was full of broken corpses. There are so many of these Tianghu Beast, but they have actually become so frightening. When Chen Shang saw the people of world-defying stage clan, he almost collapsed. Many of them were in hiding, and not many dared to accept the challenge. However, they all knew that these gigantic black beasts were Tianghu Beast. Only the Heaven Old Divine Race could release the Tianghu Beast, so they all thought that it was the Heaven Old Divine Race who released the Tianghu Beast. At this moment, they were extremely angry, because they had already pledged their allegiance to the Heaven Old Divine Race, but why did they still have to harm them? The spatial undulations are very strong. Heaven Old Divine Race is here, be careful. Feng Ka suddenly said. Yeah, I felt it too. Chen Shang had already seen the Heaven Old Divine Race people who had suddenly appeared. They were all dressed in gold and white robes and had a mask on their face. There were dozens of them. The moment they appeared, the first person they dealt with was Heaven Old Super Beast King. These dozens of guys are all very strong. Chen Shang didn't dare to get close at the moment, and could only watch from afar. If he were to head over now to collect the corpse, he would definitely be discovered. We can't let them catch this guy. Heaven Old Super Beast King was extremely important to the people of Heaven Old Divine Race, they would do anything to capture him. Because this was something that was extremely beneficial to Heaven Old Divine Race. That's the only way. Chen Shang took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and teleported the currently besieged Heaven Old Super Beast King out to the Divine Wasteland S. Then, he himself ran out, because he had already been discovered when he was in the process of cultivating. If there were only world-defying stage clan S, he would not be afraid, but a few dozen of them were very powerful. Finally out, Chen Shang ran out from the world-defying stage clan's dimension and then followed behind that Heaven Old Super Beast King as he ran frantically. Did you get me out? The Heaven Old Super Beast King said. Yes, I don't want you to be caught. Chen Shang answered. He had met a talking Tianghu beast before, so he was not too surprised. Thank you. This heaven-old super beast king was extremely grateful to Chen Shang, and said. This made Chen Shang even more surprised. He never thought that these heaven-old super beast king who had a hint of intelligence would actually be this polite, to say such words. It was the same for the previous heaven-old super beast king. Right now, we are still being chased. I can help you run faster. Where do you need to go? Chen Shang asked. He had learned from Shi Songkang that once these heaven-old super beast king came to the divine wasteland, they would be able to sense where the source of myriad Tao was and then search for it. Once they found the myriad Tao's spring, they would absorb it and become very strong. It was a very scary threat to the people of the heaven-old divine race. This way, pointed in a direction, Chen Shang immediately brought him and teleported away. With a few moves, they left the place they were at just now. This way they could avoid being tracked by the heaven-old divine race. Heaven-old super beast king was like a black gorilla. At this moment, Chen Shang was sitting on this Tianghu beast's shoulder, running far away. Inside the world-defying stage clan space, a few heaven-old divine race people were floating in the air. Looking at the ruins and the roaring Tianghu beast, they never thought that such a thing would happen. Why are there so many Tianghu beast here, and why are there so many of them? Our array discs have never been opened before, and only the little team's array discs could bring so many Tianghu beast here. What exactly happened inside? Could it be that they are taking their revenge on us? Quote. That little team's treatment is not bad. Their world-defying mad source speed are all very big, they have no reason to hate us. This matter must be investigated thoroughly. The most important thing is that a beast king has escaped. If we are unable to capture him, we will be in deep trouble. Everyone should know what will happen after heaven-old super beast king finds the myriad Tao's source. Quote. Chapter 3149. The reason Chen Shang was following this heaven-old super beast king was to see where the myriad Tao source was. Gorilla, I also let a heaven-old super beast king out. The place he went might be the same as the place you went. Chen Shang said, if you meet him, will you fight? There couldn't be two tigers on one mountain. Chen Shang was very worried about such a thing. Don't worry, we won't have any conflicts, because we all have a common goal. Our goal is to get rid of the heaven-old divine race. The gorilla said, heaven-old divine race is a very evil being. Why do you say that? Aren't they humans? Chen Shang said, they are indeed a little overbearing, but I do not think that they are evil. We were originally humans, but they turned us into this. The gorilla angrily retorted, only a few people still maintain their original souls, just like me. Quote. There's actually such a thing. Chen Shang was very surprised. The people of heaven-old divine race obtained a few evil beast dead spirits from somewhere and these dead spirits entered our bodies. After absorbing the energy within our bodies, they nurtured a very large beast body. The huge Tianghu beasts that you saw previously are all in this situation. These people are already dead, their souls have already been devoured. The gorilla said, as for some of us, because we have enough power to fight against the souls of the evil beast, we can still preserve our memories. The birth of the Tianghu beast was actually so tortuous. Now, Chen Shang understood why Shi Songkang was so afraid that the heaven-old super beast king would find the myriad Tao's origin. This is because in our homeland, there are many myriad Tao divine soil s. After they transform us into Tianghu beast, as long as we are separated for a period of time, our bodies will be covered with a small number of myriad Tao divine soil s. At that time, they only need to release us and kill us. The gorilla was very excited at this moment. This was something that made them very angry. These fellows are too despicable. I am so sorry. I killed a lot of Tianghu beast and even extracted the myriad Tao divine soil from them. Chen Shang said. It doesn't matter. After all, they are already dead. If we kill them, it might be able to release them. The gorilla said, if you want to go to myriad Tao divine soil, I can bring you there to look for it. But before that, I need to go to myriad Tao's origin. What does the source of the myriad Tao have to do with you? Why are there so many myriad Tao divine soil s in your hometown? Chen Shang asked. He was also extremely happy in his heart. The heaven-old super beast king was bringing him to enter heaven-old super realm to search for the myriad Tao divine soil. This way he would not have to go through so much effort to refine it. The gorilla did not reply, obviously because he did not want to tell Chen Shang these things. The location of the myriad Tao's source was uncertain. It would move, and it would move rather frequently. Gorilla need to keep turning as they run. It's so hard to find. Chen Shang had already waited for a few days, but he still had not arrived. Furthermore, the gorilla's speed was extremely fast, and sometimes it could even fly, but most of the time, it was just wildly running on the ground, because he said that it was easier to sense the myriad Tao's origin on the ground. On the side of the Heaven Old Divine Race, they had already sent 2 people to look for the Heaven Old Super Beast King. There are still remnants of the evil beast soul inside the Heaven Old Super Beast King. We can still feel the aura of his participation when we use the divine tools specially crafted by him. A Heaven Old Divine Race person was holding onto a disc. 2 red dots of light appeared on the surface of the disc that was as smooth as a mirror. What's going on? Why are there 2 targets? A Heaven Old Divine Race man at the side said in shock. Don't tell me there are 2 Heaven Old Super Beast Kings. They should be searching for the myriad Tao's origin. If they were to find it, we would be in even more trouble. Alright. If there was only 1 Heaven Old Super Beast King, they might not be so nervous, but there were 2 of them. What do we do now? Go back and ask them to send another group of people to search. The 2 Heaven Old Divine Race people immediately ran back. Gorilla, is the myriad Tao's source underground? If you can find the source of myriad Tao, would you be able to meet that previous Heaven Old Super Beast King? Chen Shang asked. I'm not sure if it's underground. If I find him, I might not run into my comrades, because there are 108 myriad Taos. The gorilla said, if we find it, we will eat that myriad Tao source. There are actually so many. Chen Shang did not expect this. The source of the myriad Tao must be connected to this tribe, otherwise there wouldn't be so many myriad Tao divine soil in that Heaven Old Super Realm. Yes, if we want to recover to our original state, we can only recover by eating the myriad Tao's origin. The gorilla said, when I recover, can you open that passage? When the time comes, I will follow you to the Heaven Old Super Realm. I can find a large number of myriad Tao divine soil there for you. Quote. Of course not. Chen Shang would definitely cooperate with the gorilla for the sake of the myriad Tao divine soil. After running for a few days, the gorilla suddenly became very excited and shouted, it's nearby. At this moment, the gorilla was rushing towards a huge mountain. He came to the foot of the mountain and punched at it. After the mountain was shattered, a green light burst out from within the mountain, and a green ball the size of 2 people flew out in one direction. The gorilla immediately flew over and hugged the green ball of light, and fiercely bit at the myriad Tao source with his mouth wide open. After a few bites, it shattered, and a ball of green light flew out, being swallowed by the gorilla. This guy's methods are really simple and crude. Chen Shang had witnessed the entire process from high up in the sky, which could be considered an eye-opener. He thought that the myriad Tao's origin would be extremely huge, but he never expected it to be this small. Xiao Ka, can you feel any kind of special power from the myriad Tao's origin? Chen Shang asked. I can't feel it at all. Perhaps this kind of thing only has a special effect on races like theirs. Feng Ka said. At this moment, the gorilla's massive body had already been enveloped by the green light and was slowly falling to the ground like a silkworm chrysalis. When can I do that? Chen Shang ran over and shouted. But there was no sound from inside. The gorilla seemed to be asleep. If the people of the Heaven Old Divine Race find this place, then we will be in trouble. Chen Shang was a little anxious. He took out the 6 realms mirrors and tried it out, but he could not put it into the space. However, he succeeded in bringing the huge green pupa onto the 6 realms mirrors. At this moment, he was flying high in the sky while carrying it. Chapter 3150. Chen Shang flew at a very high altitude and used the counter power to hide himself. I wonder when this guy will wake up. Chen Shang patted the green cocoon. He had originally planned to return to the Dan God mysterious land, but he was worried that he would lure the Heaven Old Divine Race's people to that place. He had already found the approximate strength of the Heaven Old Divine Race from Shi Songkang, and was still very strong. If the existence of the Dan God mysterious land were to be discovered by them, and then they could think of a way to break through them, that would not be good. In order to prevent this kind of thing from happening, Chen Shang did not plan to go to the Dan God mysterious land. Deep into the night, Chen Shang made the flying discs float in the sky, and stopped above. He was not flying right now, and he needed to rest. Weird, why would there be movement at night? Chen Shang carefully looked at the green giant worms breathing, and then looked around, but didn't find anything wrong. Just as he was puzzled, he realized that a light green mist was seeping out of the green giant worm's surface. What was inconceivable to him was that after the green mist appeared, he could feel a trace of world-defying stage fierce power. Could these be the world-defying stage fierce power? Chen Shang anxiously absorbed a little of it, which made him even more surprised, because after absorbing the green mist, he realized that the world-defying stage fierce power was extremely dense. These world-defying stage fierce power are drifting out, that means they came from within. If I do not absorb them, it will be a waste. Chen Shang immediately channeled his devouring magic Kung Fu, and quickly absorbed the green mist on the surface of the green giant worm. This green mist contained a large amount of world-defying stage fierce power. It's much faster than when I absorbed it through my meridians. When opened his eyes, he could no longer feel the world-defying stage fierce power entering his body. When he opened his eyes, he saw that the green giant worm had stopped moving and was no longer releasing that green mist. It stopped. Does it only appear at night? Chen Shang secretly guessed. It was daytime, but no green mist leaked out, causing Chen Shang to be disappointed, but absorbing the mist overnight also increased his cultivation by a lot. The myriad Dao's origin is green, and the mist that leaked out is also green. If there is a connection, if you were to obtain the source of a myriad Dao, wouldn't that be able to increase your world-defying stage fierce power by leaps and bounds? Feng Ka said. That's not bad, but how do I find the source of myriad Dao? Chen Shang didn't have the heaven-old Super Beast King's ability to sense the source of the myriad Dao. He didn't know where he had to go to find the source of the myriad Dao. Feng Ka said, you just need to ask him and he will know. When he wakes up, he will definitely know how to find him and you helped him out to find the source of the myriad Dao. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to become strong so quickly. Chen Shang nodded. He had already decided to ask this heaven-old Super Beast King to help him search for the myriad Dao's origin after he woke up. It was day, and Chen Shang continued to let the Six Realms mirrors hover high up in the sky. It was because they did not meet anyone at night, so he felt that they could rest assured here. At this moment, Chen Shang was really looking forward to the descent of night. This way, he would be sure that the green giant worm could only release that green mist at night. Evening had arrived. Chen Shang looked at the sky and patiently waited. Soon, it would be night. He thought that he could wait until night in peace, but he never thought that he would suddenly feel an aura coming from far away. This aura was even sensed by the heaven-devouring rat that he had released to search for him from all directions, even though it was only an extremely weak aura, but he was able to discern from this aura that this was the aura of a person from the heaven-old divine race, and it was extremely strong at that. There are only two auras, they should be two heaven-old divine race cultivators coming here, they are obviously here for us. Chen Shang could tell from looking at the green giant worm. He was worried that the other party would stop in the space tunnel. If he stopped in the middle of the tunnel, it would usually shoot out a strong spatial energy wave, and if he did not deal with it well, he would be torn into pieces along with the space tunnel. If Chen Shang had no other choice but to bring this kind of green giant worm with him, he did not want to take any risks. At that time, it would be bad if he harmed the gorilla inside the green giant worm. How the hell did these guys get here? I was very cautious, but I was still traced. Chen Shang urged his Six Realms mirrors to fly quickly, wanting to get the help of the two heaven-old divine race people behind him. Furthermore, they seemed to be able to control Chen Zhang's movements at any time. Even if Chen Shang was able to shake them off, it was only for a short period of time, and they would always be able to catch up to him very quickly. It was simply impossible to shake him off. We have to get rid of them. Feng Ka said, is there a way? Not yet, Chen Shang said. If it really isn't possible, then I can only release that guy from the Six Realms mirrors. That guy should be almost crazy by now, when the time comes he'll definitely listen to me. Chen Shang brought his green giant worm with him, so it was inconvenient for him to rush up to fight. He couldn't place his green giant worm inside the Yuyao Mountain Villa or other storage magic treasure, and it would be too dangerous if he placed them outside by himself. Who's in front? One of the heaven-old divine race people saw that there was a green giant worm above Chen Zhang's Six Realms mirrors, and was extremely shocked. At the same time, he was glad, because they still had time, because if the heaven-old Super Beast King inside came out, they would be in big trouble. I am your ancestor. You unfilial descendants, why aren't you kneeling down and chasing after your ancestor? Chen Shang immediately responded, stand still, don't chase after me anymore. Of course, Chen Zhang's words were just spouting nonsense, even if the other party did not know him, he did not want them to know that he was involved in this matter. You're courting death. The people of Heaven Old Divine Race also had their own ancestors, and now that someone was pretending to be their ancestors, it was equivalent to insulting their own ancestors, causing them to be extremely angry. However, they were still very vigilant, because people who could carry green giant worms and fly everywhere were definitely not weak. They guessed that this person might be the person who opened the spatial tunnel array disk. Chapter 3151. Seeing that the other party was still not giving up, Chen Shang gritted his teeth and released a person from the Six Realms mirrors. This person was also from Heaven Old Divine Race, and was precisely the Shi Songkang who was poisoned by the Wangwo scent that he used previously. After Shi Songkang came out, she immediately told him that as long as he killed those two, he would be given a large number of Wangwo scent. Of course, in order to allow Shi Songkang to focus on fighting, he gave Shi Songkang a sniff of the Wangwo scent, and that was just to let him feel comfortable for a short period of time. Chen Shang purposely starved for a while because he wanted Shi Songkang to experience his power. Shi Songkang only needed a short period of time to be tortured to death by the Wangwo poison, and now that he came out, he became very obedient. Even though he was of the same kind, his face was still filled with killing intent. Because only by killing these two people would he be able to obtain the Wangwo scent that would let him feel comfortable. When Chen Shang saw the killing intent on Shi Songkang's face, his heart skipped a beat, because his method already had an effect, and the result was very good. Shi Songkang had already started to be of the elementary level, fighting against the two Heaven Old Divine Race people. Chen Shang did not run, because he wanted to find an opportunity to launch a sneak attack. Shi Songkang, are you crazy? It's us. What the hell is going on? Hurry up and tell us, you have violated the clan rules, and will make your life worse than death. The words, better than death, stung Shi Songkang, because he was feeling worse than death right now. Chen Zhang's Wangwo scent tormented him until he felt worse than death, causing him to be even more furious. I am already suffering a fate worse than death, yet you still want us to suffer a fate worse than death. The reason for my death is all because of you bastards. I want to kill you all. I want to destroy the entire Heaven Old Divine Race. Shi Songkang was currently filled with killing intent. His face was filled with rage, his expression was sinister, his hands continued to wave, releasing balls of mountain-like golden light balls, frantically attacking the two Heaven Old Divine Race people. Chen Shang watched the battle from afar. He never thought that Shi Songkang would actually be so strong, to actually be able to handle the two Heaven Old Divine Race people by himself. Fortunately, I can use the Wangwo scent to control this guy. Otherwise, I wouldn't know how the natural law world would act so recklessly. Chen Shang heaved a sigh of relief. Shi Songkang's current strength was much stronger than before, which Chen Shang did not know, because Chen Shang did not know of Shi Songkang's true strength, but the two Heaven Old Divine Race who were fighting with Shi Songkang were able to do it. Shi Songkang's sudden increase in strength by so much made them extremely shocked and jealous. But, Shi Songkang had suddenly become so much stronger, which made them feel that it was unbelievable. Shi Songkang, how did you suddenly become so strong? With such a secret technique that increases your strength so quickly, you did not report it to the clan, and now you still dare to go against us, you are truly bold. A Heaven Old Divine Race man said angrily. Only now did he know that Shi Songkang had become much stronger. He immediately thought that this must be related to the large number of Wangwo poison, and the people inside the Forget-Me Divine Race previously used Wangwo poison to quickly increase his own strength. But now, after Shi Songkang had been used by him in such a large number of Wangwo scent, he had improved so much. Wangwo scent can indeed stimulate more potential, and Shi Songkang himself already has many potential that he has not developed yet. But now, after being used by me, in order to alleviate the pain, he has to enjoy that wonderful feeling, so he has to desperately defeat these two people, and then, he will be able to unleash his potential. Chen Shang speculated that the Wangwo scent was indeed a type of extremely miraculous poison that could actually strengthen one's body quickly. Of course, he would not try. Shi Songkang was doing his best to fight right now. All of these Heaven Old Divine Race people could use the extremely powerful world-defying stage fierce power, and it was just that not long after the battle started, it was as though the world was being destroyed. The mountain range that was initially in good condition, had been turned upside down, and many huge mountains had been flattened. This won't do. We are simply no match for this madman. He looks like he's gone mad and has already lost his rationality. He is willing to ignore everything for the sake of victory. He doesn't even care about his own life. We can't even beat him. A Heaven Old Divine Race man said. That was why they were unable to defeat Shi Songkang. Under the effects of the Wangwo scent, Shi Songkang had already improved a lot, and now that he had become such a madman, everyone felt afraid. Let's go back to report now and let the clan elders settle this issue. They will definitely be very interested in such a thing, because Shi Songkang's strength has suddenly increased by so much. This is something that we have been pursuing the entire time. Yes, let's go. Seeing that they were about to leave, Chen Shang obviously could not let them go. He was chased by these two heaven-old divine race cultivators before, so he didn't give them a very strong feeling, otherwise they wouldn't have run for their lives. Chen Shang had always been prepared, waiting for the right opportunity to attack. Now that he saw the two trying to escape, how could he let them go? He immediately threw out the black whip, which flew out and tied the two of them up. The black whips could not bind the people of heaven-old divine race because they would turn into light and escape. However, it was enough to make them pause for a while. Just as they stopped, Shi Songkang also had a chance to attack. Using his fastest speed, he rushed over and struck a heaven-old divine race disciple in the chest with his palm. The palm force formed by the world-defying stage fierce power struck the heaven-old divine race disciple like a monstrous wave, sending him flying through the air as he vomited blood. Chen Shang immediately teleported over and stabbed the heavenly magic sword in the back, killing the heaven-old divine race disciple and throwing him into the Tianshuang furnace. After killing the spirit beast, he quickly returned to the Six Realms mirrors. At this time, Shi Songkang slammed the other heaven-old divine race disciple to the ground and then fiercely punched out, turning the heaven-old divine race disciple into a meat patty. Chen Shang quickly stored the body inside the Tianshuang furnace, because there was a world-defying mad source bead inside the corpse. It was a good thing. Well done, come in. Only after Chen Shang entered the Six Realms mirrors did he heave a sigh of relief. He was still worried that Shi Songkang would not be controlled, but he didn't expect that it would actually be so bad. After Shi Songkang entered a space inside the Six Realms mirrors, Chen Shang immediately released a large number of Wangwo scents, allowing Shi Songkang to absorb them. He had also obtained two world-defying mad source beads, which made Chen Shang extremely happy, as he had only been invited to deliver them to his doorstep. These guys really know how to court death. Chen Shang chuckled and looked at the green giant worm above the Six Realms mirrors. At this time, the green fog started to leak out again. He immediately controlled the Six Realms mirrors to hide, and then absorbed the green fog. I have to be careful now. Chen Shang was sure that the people of Heaven-Old Divine Race had a way to find the Heaven-Old Super Beast King. Chapter 3152. Chen Shang, who was absorbing the green mist, wondered if the primordial god king he met before was like this gorilla, becoming like this after devouring the myriad Dao's origin. If he was found by the people from the Heaven-Old Divine Race, he would be in great danger. No, I have to go find that guy. Heaven-Old Divine Race must have a way to find him. Chen Shang rummaged through the Tianshuang furnace. Its corpse had already been burnt to ashes, but there were still a lot of things. He quickly found a disc. There were 3 dots of light on it, one white and the other 2 green. He noticed that the white and green dots were overlapping. After he left the Six Realms mirrors with the plate, he realized that the white light was moving. The white light spot is me, and the green light spot is Heaven-Old Super Beast King. Just now, they overlapped each other because I was with Heaven-Old Super Beast King, and the other green light spot should be the one I released. He hasn't moved. Could it be that he has already become a green giant worm? Chen Shang immediately controlled the Six Realms mirrors and flew in that direction. Right now, he couldn't care about absorbing the green mist coming from the green giant worm. He wanted to save the other Heaven-Old Super Beast King immediately, otherwise he would be killed by him. Several hours later, Chen Shang arrived at the surface of a huge lake. Below, this guy really knows how to hide. It's just that he was discovered by the tools refined by the Heaven-Old Divine Race. Chen Shang immediately dived into the lake and quickly saw the huge cocoon that was releasing the green mist. Fortunately, the Heaven-Old Divine Race did not find him first. Just like this, another giant pupa appeared on top of Chen Zhang's Six Realms mirrors, which would release green mist at night. He stayed far away from the lake, suspended in the air, and then absorbed the green mist released by the 2 green giant worm. It feels good to be able to absorb so much in one go. In one night, Chen Shang increased his world-defying stage fierce power by even more. This guy has really wasted a lot of time. Feng Ka said, that lake has been changed by the world-defying stage fierce power that he released, especially the water beasts in the lake. Fortunately, I was able to get here in time and was not found by the Heaven-Old Divine Race. Chen Shang laughed. This guy should be the first one to wake up. It's just that I don't know how long it will take. Oh yeah, you can use the time domain to help them move faster. Feng Ke said, why didn't you think of that before? Because I can't use the power of space with them, I feel that I can't use the power of time either, so I don't have that kind of thought anymore. Now that you put it this way, we can try it when the time comes. Chen Shang patted his head and said. They are currently inside the green giant worm, they must be digesting the myriad Tao's energy. This will take a long time, you can't continue waiting like this, who knows how many more people heaven old divine race will send to chase after them. Feng Ke said, when the time comes for you to deal with them, it will only become more and more difficult, they have already lost 2 heaven old divine race people, this kind of thing is enough to garner the greatest attention in the heaven old divine race. I know, I'll try and see if I can use the power of time to help them increase their speed. Quote. This kind of green giant worm actually did not reject the power of time, and previously, he was unable to use the power of space on the green giant worm. Let's do it together, dual time domain. Chen Zhang's dual time domain could be used to increase the speed by many times. Outside for 1 day, the time domain would be in for 30 months. Although he wanted to absorb the green mist that contained the world-defying stage fierce power, he did not have the chance to do so right now. The heaven old divine race was on his way, and he had to wake up a heaven old super beast king to save his life. So fast. After sensing the 2 auras, Chen Shang immediately controlled the 6 realms mirrors to fly. He did not plan to let Shi Songkang go out and fight, because he was worried that Shi Songkang would be injured. The 2 heaven old divine race people looked to be powerful. If there was another wave of them during the battle, even Shi Songkang would not be able to handle them, and he would have lost the general, and Shi Songkang was still rather useful to him now. Chen Shang, who was constantly controlling the 6 realms mirrors to fly at high speeds, also unceasingly released double time domain to speed up the time. This way, he would be able to gain a lot of time while he hid. After a few days, he suddenly saw one of the green giant worms starting to tremble. Are they coming out? Chen Shang immediately retracted the power of time from the green giant worm. When the green giant worm trembled, its surface suddenly cracked open, and a white light shone out from within. With a voila sound, an item ran out from inside, as if something had suddenly popped out of water. Chen Shang looked up at the sky and saw a pure white young man wearing a set of green clothes. Thank you, brother. The young lad smiled lightly at Chen Shang, then rushed towards the 2 heaven old divine race men who were chasing after him. It's the heaven old super beast king. He has successfully refined the myriad Tao's origin. Let's go. Heaven old super beast king was still unable to confirm it just now, but after heaven old super beast king arrived, they could then confirm it. However, it was already too late. No need to leave, because you won't be able to. The green-clothed man sneered. He waved his sleeves and released a green light. The green light formed a huge net, surrounding the 2 heaven old divine race people. When Chen Shang saw that the 2 heaven old divine race cultivators were trapped in the net, they immediately turned into white light. He wanted to use this method to escape, but he did not succeed, which caused Chen Shang to be extremely surprised. What is it? If my black edge was also able to do this, I would be able to deal with the people of heaven old divine race. Chen Shang looked at the green-clothed man, planning to ask him about it later. After the green-clothed man caught the 2 heaven old divine race people, he dragged them over, because a hand was like lightning as he stabbed into the hearts of the 2 people and pulled out the world-defying mad source bead S from their hearts. This is for you. With a flash, the green-robed man arrived beside Chen Shang and passed the 2 world-defying mad source bead S that were trembling to him. The world-defying mad source bead was very irritable, but the green-clothed man could easily catch it, which made Chen Shang impressed. You're so strong, Chen Shang exclaimed. Is this how you were originally supposed to look like? Yes, we are humans to begin with. The green-clothed man looked at the other green giant worm and said, did he tell you a lot of things about us? Not too much, just a general idea. Chen Shang threw the 2 world-defying mad source bead S inside. That's good. The green-clothed man nodded his head, then touched the green giant worm and laughed. He is a little weaker than me, but that is not bad too. To be able to meet with his own kind back then, is a very happy thing. Chapter 3153. When Chen Shang met such a powerful fellow, he could be considered relieved. At least, he wouldn't need to worry about being chased by the heaven old divine race anymore. Little brother, how should I address you? Last time, Chen Shang brought him here from natural law world, if not he would not know when he would be able to find the source of the myriad Tao. Chen Shang, what about you, big brother? Chen Shang said. Song Yichen, oh right, how did you meet him? Song Yichen patted the green giant worm. He did not expect Chen Shang to meet another heaven-old super beast king after him. And Chen Shang was pleasantly surprised when he told Song Yichen about opening the heaven-old super realm passage. Brother Song, you seem to be very happy. Chen Shang asked. Because this way I can return to the heaven-old super realm. Song Yichen laughed, that is my homeland. Although it is filled with miasma now, it is still my home. I need to go back and clean it up. Chen Shang looked at the green giant worm at his side. The gorilla seemed to not want to go back, but Song Yichen wanted to go back. He doesn't seem to want to go back. Is there something very scary in there? Chen Shang asked. It's not very scary. The reason why we could become Tiangu Beastess was because the heaven-old divine race was obstructing us from doing so. We have already been in beast form for many years and are extremely afraid of it, so we do not wish to return to that place. Song Yichen sighed, but by causing us to become like this, we can't let heaven-old divine race go. Before, when he didn't want to go back, he felt that he would be very helpless in the face of all this by himself. If that's the case, then that's great. The one who made the heaven-old super realm so smelly should be the heaven-old divine race. Chen Shang said, is the heaven-old divine race very powerful in the heaven-old super realm? Yes, they are the most powerful ones in heaven-old super realm. If they were to turn other races into beasts and not beasts, this world of myriad Tao would probably become like that in the future. When Song Yichen recalled the evil deeds that the heaven-old divine race had done, he became incomparably furious. I can't let them succeed here. Chen Shang knew from the beginning that the heaven-old divine race was not a good place. Song Yichen nodded, I will help you. Heaven-old divine race and the others very much need myriad Tao divine soil. The reason they used such a method on us in the heaven-old super realm was also to obtain the myriad Tao divine soil. Quote. Otherwise, they wouldn't need to open up a path for the Tiangu beast to enter this place for them to hunt. I have already been clueless about the matters of the heaven-old super realm for many years, and don't know about the situation in the heaven-old super realm. Chen Shang thought about it, and felt that it was possible. Brother Song, I heard that there are a lot of sources of myriad Tao here, can you bring me to find one? I feel that if I devour one, I would become even stronger, said. Previously, he was absorbing the green miasma on the green giant worm's surface to cultivate his world-defying stage fierce power. This is not a problem. I've said that I would repay you, so I'll bring you to find him now. This is not a difficult matter. Song Yichen laughed and then, he began to direct the way for Chen Shang to control the six realms mirrors and allow it to fly. During the flight, Chen Shang asked Song Yichen about matters related to the heaven-old super realm. Is the heaven-old super realm in a world above the myriad Tao? Chen Shang asked. It can be said that it is, but it can also be said that it is not. The existence of the heaven-old super realm is extremely special. This is because the heaven-old super realm needs to absorb the energy from the myriad Tao world and at the same time, absorb the world-defying stage fierce power above the myriad Tao S to maintain it. It is between the two of them. Song Yichen looked forward, then looked at the green giant worm. The myriad Tao's origin ability can make us stronger, and when we become stronger, we will undergo a transformation, allowing us to get rid of this evil power that can turn us into evil beast. The heaven-old super realm and the myriad Tao world were inextricably linked. Heaven-old super realm has always been in a mess. There are many powerful humans or beasts in there. Most of these fellows came from above myriad Tao. After Chen Shang heard it, his eyes brightened and he asked, you can go to the heaven-old super realm from above the myriad Tao. Song Yichen nodded his head, yes, it isn't very difficult, but going from heaven-old super realm to myriad Tao is extremely difficult. Chen Shang felt that when he ascended to myriad Tao in the future, if he wanted to return, he could use heaven-old super realm to return to divine wasteland. Under Song Yichen's guidance, Chen Shang arrived at the middle of a lake. It's right below us. This myriad Tao source has already sensed me and is preparing to escape. When the time comes, I'll be able to catch it. Song Yichen looked down and then let out a roar towards the enormous lake. The powerful sound wave penetrated to the bottom of the lake, causing the lake to immediately churn. Not long after, a green blob of light rushed out. It appeared. Chen Shang shouted in shock. Song Yichen immediately flew out. It was unknown what method he used to actually cause the myriad Tao's origin, which was currently fleeing, to hover in the air. Put this thing away, Song Yichen shouted to Chen Shang. Chen Shang took out the Tianchuang furnace and stored the myriad Tao's origin inside. There were still a lot of world-defying mad source bead inside the Tianchuang furnace. At this time, myriad Tao source had also entered the Tianchuang furnace, and actually did not interfere with the other world-defying mad source bead. This is also good. Chen Shang was still worried that they would reject each other and destroy the myriad Tao's spring in the end, but such a thing did not happen. Thank you, Brother Song. Chen Shang said while grinning. Previously, when I absorbed the green mist released by the green giant worm, I could feel that the world-defying stage fierce power was increasing in strength, so I feel that this myriad Tao source is extremely helpful to me. Song Yichen laughed. No need to be polite, I will repay you for this. The myriad Tao's origin is a form of the world-defying stage fierce power, it is much more powerful than world-defying mad source bead. Quote. If that's the case, that's great. Chen Shang did not plan to absorb the energy now, because he did not know what actions the people of Heaven Old Divine Race would take. The people of Heaven Old Divine Race had lost a lot of people, and they already knew that 2 of the Heaven Old Divine Race's people had come to the Divine Wasteland. Chapter 3154. Chen Shang told his concern to Song Yichen, and when Song Yichen heard it, he frowned and thought deeply. Chen Shang saw that he was thinking seriously, so he did not disturb him and waited by the side. An hour later, Song Yichen said, rather than waiting for them to come find me, I might as well come knocking on their door. It's just that I don't know where these fellows are hiding right now. Chen Shang looked at the green giant worm, then took out a disc, and said, Big Brother Song, using this disc will allow you to find the sleeping Heaven Old Super Beast King. Right now, you have already broken out of the chrysalis, so it is already impossible to investigate. I have a way to go to the Heaven Old Divine Race, but if I bring him there, I will definitely find out. If I don't bring him there, I'm not worried. Only Chen Shang could sneak into the space of the Heaven Old Divine Race. If he was allowed to, it would be hard for him to enter. After Song Yichen received it and fiddled with it for a while, he smiled slightly and said, I got it. As he spoke, he released a light purple mist, shrouding the green giant worm above the 6 realms mirrors. After the green giant worm was enveloped by the purple chi mist, the green light dot on the plate disappeared. When Chen Shang saw it, he couldn't help but exclaim in admiration. What the hell is going on? Chen Shang was extremely curious about this. This thing can sense a trace of the evil beast's aura. Back then, the people of Heaven Old Divine Race used this power on us, so they were very familiar with this power, and they were able to create this thing to sense us. The evil beast's aura is the most special, so it's very easy to feel it. Now that I've used another type of energy to conceal this aura, they won't be able to sense it. Once this matter was resolved, Chen Shang could be at ease and went to where the Heaven Old Divine Race was. Shi Songkang, where are the people of Heaven Old Divine Race? Chen Shang asked, quickly bring me there. After that, Shi Songkang gave Chen Shang a location. Chen Shang already knew that the people of Heaven Old Divine Race were inside the Myriad Tao Forest, that place had already been modified to become extremely beautiful. It was their garden, but they would not live there. They would create their own space and hide inside it. This way they could avoid being discovered, and entering and leaving also became very easy to manage. After arriving at the Myriad Tao Forest, Chen Shang said to Song Yichen, they are right here, so how are we supposed to sneak in quietly? Chen Shang was currently carrying a green giant worm with him, so it would not be convenient for him to sneak in. Then we'll wait for him to wake up. When he wakes up, we can also gain a bit more strength. Song Yichen said, you used that power of time, to allow him to buy more time, so we won't have to wait too long. Alright, if they allowed another Heaven Old Super Beast King to awaken, then when they entered the Heaven Old Divine Race's territory, even if they faced an expert, it wouldn't be too strenuous. At this time, Chen Shang concentrated and used the power of space on this green giant worm, allowing it to break open even faster. What's going on? Could it be that both Heaven Old Super Beast King S merged with the Myriad Tao source? That's impossible, they just came out not too long ago, so it would at least take 1 to 2 years for them to fuse with the Myriad Tao source. An old man from Heaven Old Divine Race said. The other old men had serious expressions on their faces. They were all extremely afraid of Heaven Old Super Beast King who had merged with their Myriad Tao's origin, because they knew very clearly how they treated this clan back then. If they had become strong, without even thinking, they would have known that they would definitely go all out to take revenge on them. It would have been fine if they weren't strong, but they knew that if these heaven-old super beast king fused with the source of the myriad Tao, they would be even more terrifying than they were in the past. We were too careless. We shouldn't have made that array disk in the first place, otherwise, these heaven-old super beast king wouldn't have come to the myriad Tao and wouldn't have found the source of the myriad Tao. Then what do we do now? If they were to really fuse with the myriad Tao's origin, it would definitely be very troublesome for us. Quote, "We haven't gotten too many myriad Tao divine soils yet, are we really going to fail like this? We are the most important people to this plan." Quote, "Because the heaven-old super beast king had fused with the myriad Tao's origin, the upper echelons of the heaven-old divine race were anxious. Their limited strength was only strong in the myriad Tao world. If they were to go above the myriad Tao, their current strength was not even worth mentioning. And heaven-old super beast king who had fused with the myriad Tao's origin, had a strength equivalent to an expert above the myriad Tao. Do you want us to withdraw?" A person said, "This won't do, we were sent here to execute such an important plan, and not only have we not succeeded, we have also allowed two heaven-old super beast kings to successfully integrate with the myriad Tao's spring. If we return, we will definitely be punished if we do." "Right, I must think of a way to solve this problem." "Don't worry, they won't be able to absorb the myriad Tao's spring that quickly. I feel that someone is secretly helping these heaven-old super beast kings. This was originally all part of our plan, but with so many variables, it's clear that someone is secretly opposing us. We must find this person." They all had the same feeling. Previously, when a few of their clansmen died in the natural law world, they felt that this was a little strange, and later on, a large number of Tiangu beasts appeared in the world-defying stage clan's space. Clearly, someone obtained the formation plate they refined, opening up a spatial passageway for the Tiangu beast in the heaven-old super realm to come out, and also released a heaven-old super beast king at that time. They were currently discussing about this matter, and did not know that Chen Shang was the one who had secretly helped the heaven-old super beast king. Song Yichen saw the green giant worm splitting open and release a white light. He could not help but shout excitedly, "It's out!" A ball of white light flew out, and following it, a seemingly simple and honest middle-aged man landed on top of the Six Realms mirrors. "Thank you for your help." The simple and honest big guy immediately thanked Chen Shang. "Gorilla, no need to be polite." Chen Shang laughed. "What may I call you, big brother?" "My name is Chen Shang." Quote, "Zheng Profound." Song Yichen smiled slightly, "I am Song Yichen." Song Yichen and Zheng Profound were originally humans, but they were different from ordinary humans. They were of a special race, like the people of heaven-old divine race. Chapter 3155. Zheng Profound and Song Yichen conversed with each other for a while. Zheng Profound agreed to head to the heaven-old divine race's dimension now. These heaven-old divine race people were just sent here to carry out their evil and malicious plans. My guess is that, on one hand, they wanted to collect the myriad Tao divine soils, and on the other hand, they wanted to turn the humans of this place into their slaves. Quote, "Taking in myriad Tao divine soil was equivalent to killing Tiangu beast, and then extracting them from the bodies of Tiangu beast. This was a very lowly job, and that was why a group of people with strength under the myriad Tao would come and do it. Those array discs were obviously made by the strongest people in the heaven-old divine race, who were mainly distributed over heaven-old super realm and the others." Chen Shang closed his eyes as he tried to sense the surrounding space. He spent an entire half a day before he could sense a trace of spatial undulation. Someone's coming out. It was also because Chen Shang was exiting the heaven-old divine race's secret realm that he had sensed the location of that secret realm. Error-free novel. Chen Shang and the rest had all hidden themselves, and sure enough, they saw several people suddenly appear in the sky and fly towards a particular direction. "They are all very powerful, different from the other fish that came to catch us." Song Yichen said, "Could it be that they are going to investigate some things? They actually sent out such a powerful fellow." Quote, "After Chen Shang memorized the appearances of those few people, he showed them to Shi Songkang who was inside the Six Realms mirrors. Upon seeing them, Shi Songkang immediately revealed their identities to Chen Shang. Two of them are the strongest ones in this secret plane. If he leaves now, there will only be two left to guard this secret plane. This is a pretty good opportunity." Chen Shang laughed. "Okay, after you go in, immediately open the Tiangu beast's passage and let the Tiangu beast come out. At that time, we will be able to control these Tiangong beasts and use them against the small fishes inside. Song Yichen said. Zheng Profound, after you enter, don't make a move. Let me fight with the two rankers inside first. You just watch from the side and look at their strength. If I can deal with them, you can go and clean up some of the stronger ones. Song Yichen began to draw up their battle plans. He did not allow Chen Shang to fight, because Chen Zhang's strength was not very strong. No problem, I'll listen to you. Zheng Profound was weaker than him, and Zheng Profound did not have that type of leadership personality. Song Yichen was not bad in this aspect, maybe he was a leader in the past. Then we're going in now. Chen Shang was already impatient. After entering, he would be able to cause chaos in the Heaven-Old Divine Race secret realm. If everything goes well, after we finish dealing with the Heaven-Old Divine Race, we will immediately head to the Heaven-Old Super Realm. We have important things to do inside. Song Yichen said. Chen Shang, when the time comes, you can come with us. We can help you get a lot of myriad Dao Divine Soil for you. Alright, Chen Shang desperately needed myriad Dao Divine Soil, as this was a treasure used to refine artifacts. His heavenly magic sword was very sharp because he had used a large amount of myriad Dao Divine Soil to refine it. It was not hard to open up a path to the ancient mystic realm, but the hard thing was to enter and not be discovered. Chen Shang felt that he wouldn't be able to do it, and Song Yichen didn't need him to, he only needed to bring them in. Chen Shang took a deep breath, then used the power of the Six Realms mirrors and Feng Ka to open a dimensional door. Then, he entered with Song Yichen and Zheng Profound. After entering, they came to a large plaza in a palace, and at that moment, there were many people there, all of them were from Heaven-Old Divine Race, and they were all powerful experts, but all of them belonged to the world-defying stage. If this force was placed in the Divine Wasteland, it would definitely be considered the strongest there. Now Chen Shang understood why the Heaven-Old Orcs had been forced to retreat. It was because the Heaven-Old Divine Race wanted to be even more powerful. Because someone had intruded in, they were discovered, and at the same time, bell sounds came out from everywhere. Many Heaven-Old Divine Race people surrounded Chen Shang and the other two. I don't think we expected that. Chen Shang looked at the fierce faces of the Heaven-Old Divine Race people and said. Don't worry, Zheng Profound will protect you when the time comes. Song Yichen looked at the two elders who flew over. They were dressed in gold and white robes, which released a piercing light aura, and a burst of might surged out, looking extremely powerful, causing people to feel a sense of pressure on them. There are only these two old fellows that I should be able to deal with. Song Yichen said. Zheng Profound, protect Chen Shang well and let him complete his task. These two guys aren't very strong, I should be able to handle them. Alright. After Zheng Profound finished speaking, a very long black rod suddenly appeared in his hand, and Song Yichen's body started to shine with a white light. Like a white comet, he flew into the air towards the two elderly men. Zheng Profound waved the rod in his hand, striking towards all the Heaven-Old Divine Race people who were about to rush over. Chen Shang had already teleported to the side to hide, then he took out the array disc to open the passage to Heaven-Old Super Realm. After the passage was opened, the aura of the Heaven-Old Super Realm suddenly appeared. All the people of Heaven-Old Divine Race were very shocked. They were very familiar with this aura, especially the violent aura of the Tiangong beast, which made their scalps tingle. Who are you people? An old man shouted angrily at Song Yichen. He felt that it was extremely strenuous, because when the two of them worked together, they were actually suppressed by Song Yichen. Vengeance. Song Yichen said indifferently, his hand slapped over, condensing a gigantic palm print. The palm print was as big as a city, flickering with white light, enveloping the two elders. With a loud boom, the huge palm landed on the ground, causing the entire Heaven-Old Divine Race secret realm to shake violently. All of the buildings were destroyed, and the two elders became battered and exhausted. Song Yichen was extremely satisfied with his current strength. He looked at the two escaping elders, clasped his hands together and shook his body, then opened up his palms. Two green lumps of light appeared in his palms, and he threw them out. After the balls of light flew out, they instantly became extremely huge, like two blazing green suns, turning the entire secret plane green. What was even more terrifying was the two green balls of light exploding with a domineering might, which made people even more terrified. Bang! Two huge balls of green light enveloped the two elders, tearing their powerful bodies apart. They were actually killed just like that. At this time, the wide-open Heaven-Old Super Realm passage also released waves of black wind. A large group of Tianghu beasts rushed out from within, and descended onto the ancient god clan's secret realm like a violent storm. When they saw the situation in the secret realm, they couldn't help but become furious. They immediately thought that only the heaven-old super beast king who had fused with the myriad Dao's origin could have such strength. Chapter 3156. Chen Shang and Zheng Profound did not attack, they just hid at the side and watched. Even if the three rankers came back, Zheng Profound did not have any intention of attacking them, because Song Yichen had told him before that he would only attack when he was about to lose. Song Yichen's power was extremely terrifying, definitely surpassing the peak of the myriad Dao. This power could only be found on top of myriad Dao. Although the three rankers from Heaven-Old Divine Race were furious at Song Yichen, they did not attack immediately. They were not stupid and knew the strength of the person in front of them. They had three people on their side, but it was not certain that they would be able to defeat their opponent. Song Yichen's current imposing manner made the three of them feel extremely stifled. "We do not have any enmity with you. Why would we want to kill you all?" an old man said angrily. "Without enmity, Pa, our race has been exterminated by you, and you even said that there are no grievances and no grievances. You yourself know this very well, don't pretend to be stupid in front of me." Song Yichen saw that the other party was actually using such an excuse, which made him extremely angry. This matter. They were afraid of death and had already lost the will to fight with Song Yichen, because they knew the strength of the person in front of them. Even if the three of them could defeat the opponent together, if they could not die, they would at least be heavily injured, and might even be crippled. For selfish people like them, they would never take such a risk. "All right," Song Yichen sneered. "We truly do not know about the matter between our Heaven-Old Divine Race and your clan. If we do wrong, we apologize to you here." The old man from the Heaven-Old Divine Race said, "As for the crimes that you have committed here, we will not pursue them. If you still want to continue to make trouble here, don't blame us for being impolite, you are definitely not our match." Quote. PFF'd. Song Yichen was furious, how could he not see through the other party's intentions? This kind of childish trick couldn't fool him. There were already a large number of Tianghu beasts in the secret realm, and these Tianghu beasts were chasing and killing the fleeing Heaven-Old Divine Race people. If this continued, all of the Heaven-Old Divine Race people in the secret realm would be killed. The three elders of the Heaven-Old Divine Race were extremely anxious, they could not wait any longer, but they did not dare face Song Yichen, and could only bluff, wanting to scare him away. "What is it? Do you think you are our match?" the old man sneered. "You are not worthy to be my opponents, you are nothing but wild dogs in my eyes." Song Yichen suddenly roared out. He did not know when he released a large amount of world-defying stage fierce power in the air, forming a huge golden palm. As his angry roar came to a stop, a huge golden palm pressed down from the sky, shaking the entire dimensional space of the secret realm. Some of the dimensional spaces had already ruptured, and many people in Tianghu Beast had fallen into the spatial rifts. The might of that palm was extremely terrifying. As it pressed down, it made the three old men unable to move. When the palm enveloped them, they had no way of escaping. They could only powerlessly defend themselves. The moment the palm landed, Chen Shang heard any sound, it was mainly because the palm was too powerful, the sound wave was immediately dissipated by the force, and only a continuous intense vibration was transmitted over. "He's here," Zheng Profound shouted, and then released the world-defying stage fierce power to form a protective shield around them. Following that, a cloud of smoke and dust swept over, which was the result of Song Yichen's palm strike. "Brother Song is really amazing." Chen Shang sighed in admiration, only to see the three Heaven-Old Divine Race rankers' bodies cracking and floating in the air. Their faces were no longer recognizable, and their bodies were filled with shocking wounds. The surrounding Heaven-Old Divine Race people in Tianghu Beast were also killed by the shockwave. Song Yichen had exhausted all of his strength when he attacked. The power of that palm strike had already destroyed the foundation of this primordial secret realm. At that time, the entire primordial god clan secret realm would be violently shaking and crumbling, and would soon be annihilated. "You three bastards, to be able to die in my hands can be considered a blessing of several lifetimes, HMPH. After Song Yichen finished speaking, he immediately brought the world-defying mad source bead of the three elders out to Chen Shang, and then destroyed the three corpses. "It's almost over here. Chen Shang, hurry up and open a path so we can enter the Heaven-Old Super Realm," Song Yichen anxiously said. "All right." Chen Shang took out another array disc. At this time, Song Yichen had already passed the two world-defying mad source beads to Chen Shang. After Chen Shang used an array disc to open the passage, Song Yichen and Zheng Profound joined hands to prevent the Tianghu beast inside from running out, and then led Chen Shang into the black passage. It's just that right after entering, Chen Shang felt a strong suction force that was absorbing them into the heaven-old super realm. They started to spin in the passage and only stopped after a while. Coming out from the pitch-black tunnel, Chen Zhang's eyes were suddenly stung by the light. He squinted at the sky, and noticed that there were 3 scorching suns. Is this heaven-old super realm? Chen Shang felt that there was no difference between here and the divine wasteland, it was just that there were 2 more suns. Of course, the sun here looked a lot bigger than the one in the divine wasteland. Yes, Song Yichen frowned as he looked into the sky and said, initially, there were 7 suns here, 4 of them were purple-red in color, and the released evil beast energy has changed us, causing our entire clan to fall into a crisis. The suns were all caused by the heaven-old divine race. Only those with great strength like us can protect our souls from being penetrated by the evil energy. Zheng Profound said, thanks to our combined efforts, we managed to recover from the 4 suns after they were extinguished. Was there originally 3 suns here? Chen Shang asked. Yes, that's normal. Song Yichen looked around at the desolate mountains and said, a large area of heaven-old super realm has been destroyed by the heaven-old divine race, and only the areas they are in have a chance of survival. There are 3 great races here, each of the 3 suns conveying power to the 3 races. And after our clan was exterminated, the heaven-old divine race occupied our sun. They obtained the power of 1 sun, which is much stronger than the other clan. Zheng Profound said. Chen Shang looked at these suns and said in shock, are these 3 suns that powerful? I can release energy, but why can't I sense it? Quote, we need a super yang divine altar, and our super yang divine altar has already been snatched away, it should be in his territory. Song Yichen said, I just don't know how the other clan is doing, from the looks of it, they should not have been exterminated, it's very possible that they have already pledged their allegiance to heaven-old divine race. You 3 races should all be very powerful, right? One of them has been destroyed, while the other is definitely in for trouble. Chen Shang said, if that race is still well, then there is only one possibility, and that is that they were also involved in this matter back then, and that is in the dark. After you all have been exterminated, they will secretly share in the benefits. Chapter 3157. After Song Yichen and Zheng Profound heard what Chen Shang said, they also felt that there was a possibility. Even though they had been turned into Tianghu beasts by power, they had stayed here for a few years, and knew of the rest. I wonder if the heaven-old divine race here knows anything about the divine wasteland. Chen Shang said, the heaven-old divine races that are heading to the divine wasteland have basically been annihilated. This should be considered a very big matter. Even if they know, they can't do anything. This time, they are able to send all of the people that they sent to the divine wasteland, so they won't be able to send that many people to the divine wasteland in a short time. Song Yichen said, this is just a plan of theirs, to them, the people sent to the divine wasteland are all weak, and they have no future. Chen Shang nodded, if that's the case, then we don't need to worry about them going to the divine wasteland to cause trouble anymore. Although the heaven-old super realm had 3 suns, Chen Shang felt that the environment here was not bad. He tried the spatial force and discovered that he could also use it. Where are we going now? Zheng Profound asked. His understanding of the place was not as deep as Song Yichen, after all, it had been so many years, and the world had turned upside down. Let's go to the ancient divine continent first. That is the territory of the heaven-old divine race. We shouldn't be recognized as such, right? Song Yichen said, go there and ask around. Before, I was like a Tianghu beast and could not enter the human region. All I knew was that I was eavesdropping on passers-by. The ancient divine continent is right in the middle of that sun. It's very easy to get there. Song Yichen pointed to the one between the 3 suns and said to Chen Shang, at that time when we enter the place where there are a lot of people in the ancient divine continent, you don't need to be with us anymore. We might be easily discovered, after all, we have all been invaded by that evil energy before, and there might be some lingering aura left behind. By doing this, Song Yichen did not want to implicate Chen Shang. In the ancient divine land, their strength could be considered to be relatively weak. All right, Chen Shang said, when the time comes, I will maintain a distance from you guys, I am unfamiliar with this place, it would be better to follow you, when that time comes, I only need to follow you from afar. Chen Shang did not want to wander around here alone. The Heaven Old Super Realm was a strange world, there were many strong warriors there. Let's do it like this. We will set off now. Song Yichen laughed, then began to run frantically towards the ancient divine continent. Originally, Chen Shang had planned to use the spatial energy to teleport, but Song Yichen had told him that there were many people in the heavenly ancient divine region who knew how to use the spatial energy. Thus, they could only run across the ground. Shouldn't there be a lot of Tianghu beast here? How come I didn't notice anything? When Chen Shang came in, he was extremely suspicious of this matter. Previously, when he had opened the spatial tunnel, a large number of Tianghu beast had flown out. That tunnel leads to an area with a large number of Tianghu beast. If we enter through the tunnel, we won't be able to reach that place. Song Yichen said, this should be set up by the Heaven Old Divine Race. This way, when they return, they won't have to go to that place. Could it be that that area has been sealed? Chen Shang thought that it was very possible. Yes, it's sealed. Our race is very strong, even though they have already turned into Tianghu beast, their strength is still very terrifying. If they do not seal us in, their two tribes might not be able to live so well. Song Yichen said, of course, there are also a small number of Tianghu beasts that manage to escape by accident. That seal only forbids us from going out, but it does not allow outsiders to go in. That's why there are often people who aren't afraid of death who go in to hunt beasts. What we know is all through these bystanders. Zheng Profound said, and these people that went in to hunt beasts were all for the myriad Tao divine soil. As the myriad Tao divine soil inside there too? Chen Shang was more concerned about this matter. His main purpose for coming here was for the myriad Tao divine soil. Yes, it's in the sealed area. Back then, when the Heaven Old Divine Race went in, they only took away one Super Yang Divine Altar, but the rest of the myriad Tao divine soil were unable to take them away. Even now, they do not dare to enter that region's depths. Song Yichen said, only we would dare to go in. Song Yichen and the others were extremely united inside, and it was true that there was no danger when they entered, but they could not go in yet, because once they went in, it would be very difficult to exit. They had some important things to do outside, and that was to investigate the situation with the Heaven Old Divine Race and another clan, and then think of a way to break the seal. Do you have any plans for revenge? Chen Shang asked. Song Yichen and the others hated Heaven Old Divine Race to death, they would definitely take their revenge. We are here searching for the myriad Tao's origin. Song Yichen said, there is also the myriad Tao's origin here, but it is better hidden, it is not easy to sense it. Find the origin of a large number of myriad Tao, then think of a way to break that seal and let the Tianghu beast come out. Quote. It's not easy. Song Yichen sighed, he did not know when he would succeed. On the other hand, Chen Shang felt that it was not that difficult. He could hand the matter of breaking the seal to Feng Ka, and the myriad Tao's source energy was even easier. This was mainly a matter of time. I don't think there's too much of a problem with sealing. I have a friend who is extremely familiar with sealing formations, so I can ask her to help you. As for the myriad Tao origin, I'm not sure if it'll work. Chen Shang said. Heaven Old Super Realm was a very good world. If Song Yichen and the others could control this world, then in the future, it would become a way for him to retreat, and would not be restricted by the myriad Tao world. In the myriad Tao world, the laws of the myriad Tao were quite annoying, especially in order to stabilize the order of the world. No matter how strong he was still too weak in the face of the myriad Tao. Do you have any ideas? Seeing that Chen Shang was serious, Song Yichen anxiously asked. He believed in Chen Zhang's strength. After all, it was only because of Chen Zhang's help that he and Zheng Profound were able to escape. The myriad Tao's words. I can use the method of concocting pills to make more pills, but this is just my assumption. I have never tried to concoct pills before, so I'm not sure if I can succeed. Chen Shang said, in short, I am able to successfully refine the myriad Tao divine soil. I only got a few myriad Tao divine soil as previously, but with my alchemy skills, I can make a lot of them. Quote. Chapter 3158. Chen Shang took out the heavenly magic sword. The heavenly magic sword was refined using the myriad Tao divine soil. Because, even if it was someone from the Heaven Old Divine Race, it would not be easy for them to obtain so many myriad Tao divine soil yet Chen Shang had so many, so they all believed that what Chen Shang said was true. There are many alchemy experts in Heaven Old Divine Race, you must not let them know about this, otherwise they will go all out to capture you. Song Yichen said, Heaven Old Divine Race is an extremely evil bunch to begin with. Even though our race has a large number of myriad Tao divine soils, we do not use this advantage to strengthen ourselves. However, the heaven old divine race was always worried that they would be annihilated by us, and they were very jealous as well. Jealous that we had a large number of myriad Tao divine soil, they wanted to kill us. Song Yichen said, the main reason is because we were too naive. We really thought that the three races could coexist harmoniously. From a simple and honest guy like Zheng Profound, it should be possible for their race to have many such honest fellows. Does your tribe have a name? Chen Shang asked. Darky, this is what the other two races call us. Song Yichen said, this is mainly because there are a large number of myriad Tao divine soil in the area we are in. Although we do not use these myriad Tao divine soil as much, we can absorb energy from them to cultivate. The myriad Tao divine soil is like a mother to us. We were raised by the myriad Tao divine soil. We are not allowed to be taken away by outsiders. The myriad Tao divine soil is also treated as our sacred object. I wonder how the heaven old divine race found out about that method, turning us into Tiangu beast, and then after many years of absorbing the power of the myriad Tao divine soil, all of us will grow into fur. All they have to do is capture us, seize the fur and refine it, and they will refine us into the myriad Tao divine soil. Even above myriad Tao divine soil was still a treasure. However, this group of natives had a lot of them, so they didn't need to refine them into weapons or anything like that. What about the other race? Chen Shang asked. Beastmen. Song Yichen replied, heaven old orcs. Chen Shang shouted in shock. He had previously known that the heaven old divine race and the heaven old divine race were born together, and that Chen Kai was born from the fusion of these two races. Yes, you know. Then, Zheng Profound, he thought that this was what Zheng Profound had told him. Because there is a heaven old orcs in the divine wasteland. Chen Shang said, I was originally chased by the beastman sovereign inside. What is heaven old orcs' purpose in going to divine wasteland? Song Yichen started to ponder. They said that they wanted to rule over the entire divine wasteland, but after the people from heaven old divine race came, they became more obedient. Chen Shang said, it shouldn't only be this goal. It's very likely that they are thinking of ways to obtain the myriad Tao divine soil, just like the people of heaven old divine race. Song Yichen said, the matters of the wilderness have not been resolved yet. The heaven old divine race people had already been exterminated, but the low-key heaven old orcs almost made them forget about him. It had to be said that their methods were pretty good. Even Chen Shang had almost forgotten about the existence of the heaven old orcs. I have to go back quickly. Chen Shang said. Don't worry for now, as long as we can break the seal, we can lead a large number of Tiangu beasts to war on all four sides. At that time, their plans in the divine wasteland will also be doomed. Song Yichen said, we're almost there. In front of him was the ancient divine province. An oasis appeared there, and a wave of dense life force assaulted his nostrils. It was very different from that deathly silent wasteland. They had finally set foot on the land of the ancient divine lands. Go to the nearby cities first, Song Yichen said. There are not only people from the heaven old divine race here, there are also people who have retired from the myriad Tao. There are also some heaven old orcs as Zheng Profound added. The heaven old orcs and the heaven old orcs don't get along well. Did they actually join hands to deal with you too? Chen Shang asked. This was what Chen Kai had told him. I don't know. The heaven old orcs and the heaven old divine race have indeed been at loggerheads all along, especially the heaven old divine race. If someone from their side is with the heaven old orcs, they will capture him and sentence him to death. Song Yichen said, it's very cruel. Of course, a long time ago the heaven old divine race did not allow them to marry us natives. However, to be able to be together with humans is quite strange. Zheng Profound said. Chen Shang never thought that there were actually many ordinary humans like him in the heaven old super realm. At this moment, they were already outside of a city, and the few people they met were humans. When they entered the city, Song Yichen kept them at a distance. In order to be able to contact them at any time, Chen Shang had given them a piece of communication jade symbol paper and told them how to use it. Song Yichen and Zheng Profound were the first to enter the city. This city was extremely new, and should be a city that was just built. After Chen Shang entered, he found out that this city was merged together with the few other old cities, so it was very lively right after the construction. The pills are all in the heaven old divine race's hands. Without the heaven old divine race's permission, you can't refine pills. How overbearing. After Chen Shang asked around, only then did he find out about the pills. If they found medicinal herbs in the wilderness, they could only be sold to shops in heaven old divine race. If they found out about it in private, they would be executed. In this place, the pill business could only be done by the heaven old divine race. The pills were sold very expensive, using a type of item called wild source stone to trade. It was not easy to find wild source stone, and it was also easy to find the people of heaven old super realm, which was why there were a lot of wild source stone. Wild source stone can be used to grow medicinal herbs. The arrogant medicine of the times are all grown using wild source stone, so things like the arrogant pill should be able to increase world-defying stage fierce power. Chen Shang asked around. There were only the primordial violent pellets, there were no other tier pellets, and even the cheapest one would cost 10,000 wild source stone. Chen Shang didn't have any wild source stone now, so he didn't know what to do. He could only continue to scout and figure out ways to get his hands on the wild source stone. As long as I can get one, I can try using the derivation method. Chen Shang chuckled in his heart. If it's successful, then I won't have to work so hard to find the wild source stone. Chen Shang took out the communication jade symbol paper and sent a message to Song Yichen. Brother Song, do you know how to get the wild source stone? We don't have such a thing now. But you can wait for a few days, I can go and rob some for you. There are so many heaven old divine race here, you can rob whatever you want from them without feeling guilty. Song Yichen replied. Chapter 3159. Chen Shang looked around. There were indeed many people from heaven old divine race, and all of them looked to be very rich. Alright, I'll see if I have a good goal. Chen Shang did not need a lot of wild source stone, he just wanted to try and see if he could refine it using the derivation method. He walked along the main street, looking for a convenient target. He wandered around for a long time, but he could not find anyone suitable. The main reason was that this city was too bustling with activity. My current strength is only at the peak of world-defying stage, and there are some people who have surpassed the world-defying stage here. If Chen Shang was making a ruckus here, all the heaven old divine race people inside the city would definitely rush over immediately. With Chen Zhang's current strength, he was still not their match. Above world-defying stage is the world-defying crazy realm. You should also be close to reaching this realm soon. As for an alchemist like you, there are no bottlenecks at all. As long as you can calm your heart and refine pills, you will be able to break through sooner or later. Feng Ke said. He had obtained a few world-defying mad source bead, but these world-defying mad source bead were difficult for him to absorb, and the world-defying stage fierce power was very difficult to refine, so he did not know the reason. He could actually use those world-defying mad source bead to strengthen the natural law world spatial wall, but he could only use them in these aspects because he was unable to devour them. If you need wild source stone you can sell them. I think you just need to sell one. Feng Ke laughed. This can be exchanged for quite a few wild source stone, but you can give it a try, whether or not it can be derived from your pill refining technique. Alright. Chen Shang immediately asked around for information regarding the world-defying mad source bead in high spirits. He quickly found out about it. There was someone here who bought the world-defying mad source bead. The world-defying mad source beads were mainly from the dead humans or beasts, but the price of recovery was extremely low. Chen Shang had thought that this kind of world-defying mad source bead was very precious. Damn, there's only one wild source stone in 5,000, aren't world-defying mad source bead too cheap? This was the price that Chen Shang had heard of. It's indeed too cheap. Feng Ke never thought that the world-defying mad source bead would contain such a dense amount of world-defying stage fierce power. Although it couldn't be used for his own cultivation, it could still be used to set up a formation. However, thinking about it, it's understandable. Generally, these world-defying mad source bead are relatively weak. Within the heaven old super realm, there should be a lot of world-defying mad source bead like me. Chen Shang took out a world-defying mad source bead, shook his head and sighed, just sell one. There were a lot of heaven old divine race people here, as long as he killed them, he would be able to obtain them. Chen Shang took out a world-defying mad source bead and entered a store that specialized in selling divine tools. These world-defying mad source beads were also used to refine and set up arrays. He had obtained 5,000 wild source stone, and upon closer inspection, he discovered that the wild source stone contained a world-defying stage fierce power. This was exactly as he had guessed. The wild source stone was born from the nourishment of the rich world-defying stage fierce power. It should not be difficult to refine. Chen Shang released a bit of the world-defying god fire to try it out and discovered that it could easily melt, and that the world-defying stage fierce power inside would spill out too. This kind of world-defying stage fierce power was extremely easy to control, and it could also be absorbed into the body, which was different from the world-defying mad source beads. Roo! A series of explosions suddenly erupted in the distance, causing everyone to panic. They looked towards the direction where the tremors came from, only to see a large cloud of fire sweeping over from the sky above. A scorching heat wave swept through the city as the fiery clouds swept past. Everyone in the city was instantly enveloped by the scorching heat waves. Some people were already shouting out loud from the heat. Boom, boom, boom. The center of the city shook continuously as the earth shook. Waves of air roared as they rushed over. What an intense battle, this kind of thing rarely happens. An old man said, "Who has the guts to fight in this city?" Look, it's an ancient divine weapon. Chen Shang looked up to the sky and saw a bunch of people with cannons chasing after two people. Could it be them? Chen Shang could not help but be shocked. He felt that it was very likely to be Zheng Profound and Song Yichen. Zheng Profound and Song Yichen were both foreign races, it was not strange for them to be discovered. Not long after, peace was restored to the city as well. There was news that the center of the city had suffered quite a bit of damage. Now that Chen Shang had the wild source stone, he could stay at the inn. He went to the inn and asked for a quiet room. One of his communication jade symbol paper suddenly vibrated, and he hurriedly took it out. Chen Shang, we have already left the city. Zheng Profound and I were accidentally discovered by the Heaven Old Divine Race and fought against them. Now that we have successfully escaped the pursuit of the ancient divine weapon, you can rest assured. Song Yichen's voice sounded. You are a human, so you don't have to worry about them. If you stay here, you might be able to find a way for him to step into the world-defying crazy realm. Chen Shang did not feel that it was unexpected that Zheng Profound and Song Yichen would encounter such a thing, he had guessed it beforehand. Ah, I will stay here for a while longer. I will come back later to find you. Chen Shang said. He had a strong interest in the pills here, he wanted to see what kind of benefits the pills had. He took out the Tianchuang furnace and placed a piece of it inside. A wild source stone was only the size of a rice, he was prepared to try and see if he could refine it. The wild source stone was being burned by the world-defying god fire and became mist not long after it was burned. Then, Chen Shang condensed it into a very small ball and used the derivation method to refine it. After forming the 9 balls, Chen Shang then used the crash method to upgrade another layer of quality. After the crash method, Chen Shang then combined all the broken pieces of the stone and formed a larger wild source stone. This wild source stone is not small. Chen Shang was very satisfied. Now we need to use the method of equally dividing the big wild source stone into small particles. After Chen Shang used it, the large wild source stone quickly turned into 30 pellets. Even he himself was surprised that one wild source stone could be refined into 30 pellets. When he was guessing previously, he felt that being able to refine 5 was already quite good. Success, the quality is the same. Using this wild source stone to compare it with the others that had not been refined, Chen Shang discovered that there was not much difference. Alright, next, I'll start a large amount of refining. It would take a lot of time to refine a large amount, but this was not a problem for Chen Shang because he could use the power of time to buy more time. Chapter 3160. Pure Text Online. Read local domain name mobile phone synchronous read please visit. Chen Shang had only used an hour to refine that pellet earlier. That small pellet of wild source stone simply did not have that much energy at all. He estimated that he would be able to refine 1,000 pellets per day. Very quickly, Chen Shang had finished refining 1,000 pills. It took 20 hours, and then he needed to rest for a bit before he could continue with the refinement. In a month's time, he had refined 30,000 pellets, and only then did he remove the time domain. This way, he would be able to obtain 30,000 pellets of wild source stone in a single day. How relaxed! Chen Shang laughed as he brought the wild source stone into a shop. Although the pills here were controlled by the Heaven Old Divine Race, there were still quite a few people who bought them. As they were a bit more expensive, there were still quite a few uses for them, and the people who bought the pills were not idiots. Right now, he was planning to buy a mad arrogant core that was worth 30,000 wild source stone. Brother, what pills do you need? When a young man saw Chen Shang coming in, he quickly welcomed him with a smile and asked. I need to buy the materials to strengthen the world-defying mad source bead. Chen Shang said. Everyone here cultivates a world-defying mad source bead. Absorbing the world-defying stage fierce power would strengthen their own body, and would have a higher chance of breaking through the world-defying stage and entering the world-defying crazy realm. It's best if it's cheaper. Chen Xiang added. No problem, take a look and see if this strong strength Dan is suitable for you to use. This youth could judge the size of Chen Zhang's world-defying mad source bead from the world-defying stage fierce powers aura that was emitted from Chen Zhang's body. How much? Chen Xiang asked. 35,000. The young man chuckled. This is the lowest price. If it was anyone else, I would have charged him 38,000. Can you make it cheaper? Chen Xiang asked. If it's 30,000, I want it. Chen Xiang immediately cut off 5,000, which was a very fierce cut. The youth shook his head. If I sell it at this price, I will definitely be cursed to death by 3 people. Chen Xiang laughed. Then tell me the lowest price. 34,000, I can't lose any less. 33,000, Chen Xiang said. If it's not possible, then forget it, I'll go look somewhere else. Chen Xiang turned to leave, but the young man anxiously shouted, all right, let's go with 30,000. They were responsible for selling the pills here. If they sold just one pill, they would also be able to obtain a certain reward. After Chen Xiang bought a strong strength Dan, he quickly returned to the tavern. This pill had almost used up all the wild source stone in his hands. As soon as he entered the room, he immediately ate it, eager to experience the effects of the pill. The primordial pill was something new to him, and he had never heard of it before. The moment the pellet entered his abdomen, it immediately exploded, and a large amount of world-defying stage fierce power surged out. These world-defying stage fierce power were all extremely pure, and he did not know how it was refined, but it was much better than directly absorbing wild source stone S. What a good thing. Even if I were to directly use 50,000 wild source stone S, it would not be as effective as this pill. Chen Xiang quickly refined the pill. Although he did not see any obvious increase in strength in the world-defying mad source bead, but the effects of the pellet were still not bad, and the increase in strength brought to him was much better than the increase in world-defying stage fierce power that he received through his invigorated meridian. There are a lot of types of arrogant mad Dan, it's just that I don't have many wild source stone now, so I must eat other different arrogant pills in the future. Chen Xiang only felt that it was new. He took out the myriad Tao source and said, I wonder if this thing can allow me to enter the world-defying crazy realm. If it is not possible, then I can only use pills. Chen Xiang activated time domain and began to absorb the energy from the myriad Tao's origin. Previously, when Zheng Profound and his group had become green giant worm, the green fog that had been released already contained a very dense world-defying stage fierce power. After he had absorbed the green fog, he had felt his own world-defying stage fierce power increase by leaps and bounds, so he had thought that the myriad Tao's origin would definitely be of great help to him. This thing is very mysterious, so I don't need to use it to refine. If it was damaged, then it would be troublesome. Chen Xiang had plans to use the derivation method to refine the myriad Tao source, but after thinking about it, he gave up. If something were to go wrong, the myriad Tao source would become useless. Right now he was using dual-layered time domain, and this was the only way he could absorb the myriad Tao's spring in a short amount of time. Zheng Profound and Song Yichen had to spend a lot of time to refine the energy within the myriad Tao source. Chen Xiang was very calm while absorbing the myriad Tao source energy, and it went extremely smoothly as well. Directly absorbing the myriad Tao source energy was much better than absorbing the green mist released by the green giant worm. More than 30 years had passed while he was absorbing it. Chen Xiang had also just absorbed all of the energy within the myriad Tao's spring, but his world-defying mad source bead still hadn't reached the limit. There's still some time before the breakthrough. Chen Xiang sighed helplessly. He really hoped that the myriad Tao would be able to help him break through, but he didn't expect it to be like this. He was not far from breaking through. You've only been training for a few days. Feng Ka yawned. Chen Zhang's time domain did not cover the entire Yuyao Mountain Villa, so Feng Ka's time was different from Chen Zhang's. More than 30 years had already passed. That's true, after all, this is the world-defying crazy realm, and even many people here would not be able to step into this realm. Chen Xiang nodded his head, I can't be too impatient. I still have quite a bit of time. Chen Xiang felt that if he absorbed more myriad Tao's origin, he might be able to break through. However, only Zheng Profound and Song Yichen could find the myriad Tao's origin, and he couldn't contact them right now. If he wanted to break through now, he could only do so through pills. Alright, I will refine a few wild source stone and see if I can purchase them. Chen Shang had gone into closed-door cultivation for a few days and refined more than 100,000 wild source stone. After leaving the inn, he hurriedly headed towards a pill shop. Just as he arrived, he discovered that someone had been thrown out of the shop. The man was thrown out of the door, landing on the ground as he screamed in pain. His entire body was wounded, and his face was haggard and haggard. He looked extremely weak. This person is our store's alchemist. However, he didn't abide by the rules when concocting pills and wasted our medicinal ingredients, which is why he was crippled by us. An old man walked out of the shop. He was from heaven old divine race and had a cold expression. Chen Shang looked at Alchemist who was half dead, and felt that it was strange. Alchemist was a human, but he could actually become the shop's alchemist. His eyes lit up, he anxiously asked, "Hello shopkeeper, your shop just cleaned up a alchemist, you are definitely lacking in manpower, right? This boy also knows how to refine pills, I wonder if he can become your shop's alchemist."